A chair right. Okay. What power is this on? Hang on. Good. Medium. Make sure the fan was right so I don't get too toasty. We still haven't hit Oodie weather yet, which is frustrating. I miss my Oodie. Hello, to whom this may concern. It's a bit late, so I'll have to do a shorter one tonight. Unfortunately, my PC was choked up a bit because I received a bunch of work today on hard drives. and I had to transfer a whole lot of files, and they were going for hours and hours, and it was still chugging away when I was supposed to start the stream earlier. Hi, Jay. Hey, Sham. And Sham and the Spinning Dinosaur. Your calendar says you're not streaming till 6 p.m. tomorrow. Oh, that's tomorrow's stream. Tonight's stream was meant to be around 9. But, oh, wait. Oh, it was 8, and then I moved it to 9, and then I still didn't make 9 because the computer thing was still going. So I couldn't use OBS. Next few months, purely naked weather. Don't get Jay's hopes up for naked streams. He'll be like, huh? What? Oh shit. Splooge. Yeah. So yeah, I got held back a bit by work-related stuff, but I didn't want to do any canceling. Could still look at a few things, do a shorter stream, it's all good. Get the dingus out. Technically, I could do that because you wouldn't even know it. Like, you never see my bottom half. Everything below here could be Starkers, and it would be fine with Twitch because, you know, it's not on camera. You make you sound like an old man. That wasn't really meant to be an old man voice. That was you hyperventilating, having an asthma attack from pure horny. Be like the TikTok you with your washing machine. That frustrated me because that got TikTok removed that, and I had to remake it. Well, not remake it. I had the edit, but I had to do changes to it to put it back up again, which pissed me off because in the original edit, I look down and it's blurry, right? And it has the 2 smiley emojis and the eggplant in the middle of the blurriness to basically, like, reference cock and balls. Like, that was the joke. But TikTok still removed it, even though there was no nudity. It's like, was the fact that the shape of the emojis still suggested the idea of penis that was still worthy of getting deleted? TikTok's for kids, they hate eggplants. It's just so stupid. It's like, it's an eggplant. Even if it's meant to symbolize penis, it's not one. So what rule exactly are you breaking? If there's no nudity and there's no any swearing is censored, it's like the actual exact rules aren't being broken. But I basically put another level of blur over that area that was like over 50% more pixelated and blurry than it was before, and I had it cover the emojis to a certain extent as well. So I basically just a bit over doubled up on the censorship, and that second one still hasn't been removed, so it seems to have worked. They seem pretty harsh for a service that doesn't pay their creators for anything. Don't the top level creators make money? Aren't there isn't there a partner program for the real heavy hitters, the influencers that get like millions of followers and views? Because there's some rich TikTokers, and all they really do is TikTok, so that money's got to come from somewhere. Top levels make chicken scratch. Although, you know what? It's probably chicken scratch within reason. Like, it's chicken scratch to a rich influencer. You know what I mean? But to us, we would probably be able to live off it easily. It would make us upper middle class. Like, you could be a multi-millionaire from YouTube and Twitch. Compared to that, you make chicken scratch on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. But their version of chicken scratch is still like tens of thousands to almost probably $100,000 of dollars at the highest end. And they only call it chicken scratch because 100 grand compared to 10 million is nothing. That's like 10 cents to your $10 note. You know what I mean? So they can say chicken scratch, but to me and you, like, We'd be made men living off their chicken scratch. I think I've said the words chicken scratch too many times in a row right now. It's starting to sound weird. Starkers is fine with Jay. We have a vote. Oh. Why am I drinking water? I have a princess juice. That was silly. Any videos in the agenda? I still have to catch up on the Ghouls for Game showcase, which I've now pushed back 2 separate Sundays. It was 2 Sundays ago I was supposed to watch it. I watched the indie horror showcase, and then never made it to the other one because we ended up watching other stuff. And then I pushed it back to last Sunday, and we did the voting for the Game Awards, and then we watched some other stuff, and we never got around to it. So now this is the 3rd week in a row that I've pushed this back. So it's about time I got to that. There we go. I got a little bit of princess juice in me. I mean, there's a couple of other big things. I mean, here's one we can't ignore. Check this out. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's the one. I forgot what button does what. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. You ready for this? You ready for this hotness? Hang on, I gotta find my spot. And I have to bring my princess juice over here with me. Otherwise, we'll be sad. I'm not quite well lined up. Wait. If I look more this way, how do I have to... Do I have to go that way? I hate having to re-find this spot. It's so annoying. Okay. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm just going to run it. Ready? I need audio. Chat. Okay. Here we go. Hang on. YouTube is broken. Alright. Here we go. No, it's not live action Moana. There's my boy. That's all we need. Is that the whole trailer? Actually, it is. What the fuck? God, he needs to brush his teeth, that little guy. Stitch ain't looking too bad. I think that's the takeaway. Like, we haven't got a real trailer yet. Like, that actually shows the movie, but all they needed to do was show off that Stitch looks dope, and that's fine. We're done. We're there. Everyone's happy. The rest of the movie is probably going to be exactly the same as the animated film. Down to, like, the storyboard. As long as people are happy with how Stitch looks. For some reason, comments are turned off. I have a feeling there were shenanigans in the comments. I bet there were Disney haters and anti-wokies kicking a stink in the comments. Because those people seem to have it out for Disney these days, so no matter what they do, even if it's just a trailer that goes, hey look, it's Stitch, the end. They probably had things to say. Godzilla Sandcastle, nice touch. That doesn't happen in the animated film, does it? I can't remember the animated film very well. It's been a long time. Like, when it was first out in the cinemas, that's how long it's been since I've seen Stitch. I would love to see some of the comments that would have been written in here. Like, I bet someone in the comments would have said something like, oh, it's Disney though, so I bet they changed the script so that Stitch is trans or something. And then there would have been like 65 replies to that of people being like, yeah, fucking Disney. Go woke, go broke, even though the movie's going to make $500 million minimum. Because nobody gives a shit when Stitch is on screen. That's one of the things with a lot of Disney properties. Like, you can kick up as much of a stink as you want, but there's going to be an audience there dropping cash. Like, people kicked up a bunch of a stink about Snow White, but that movie's gonna play. Like, there's gonna be mums and families and kids in that theater seeing it like 3, 4 times in a row. I mean, any of the wholesome Disney princess content from Disney, no matter if it's animated, live action, it'll play. While a small subset of grown men on Twitter whine and complain that it's going to destroy Disney because they're insulting the fans or whatever. It's like, dude, there's you and your little pocket of weirdos, and then there's the real world, the people who have never even seen a Twitter post, that are out there mowing lawns and having babies, and they have normal 9 to 5 jobs. They have no idea what the fuck you're on about. They're just out here watching movies. That's where the bread and butter for a lot of big companies like Disney comes from. Normies. People forget the power of the normie. The traditional internet or Twitter denizen thinks that they're super powerful in their abilities to move pop culture and cancel things and whatever, but they seem to forget that they're a very loud bubble of a very small amount of people. They make a very big deal out of things that normal people don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I think Lilo and Stitch is probably going to be the least affected by that stuff, though, because there's just nothing to grasp onto. I suppose the fact that it's a film about an East Islander subculture, like, which essentially makes it an ethnic film, is still going to have a bunch of whiteys complaining that it's woke because it's about something other than white people. But I feel like Lilo and Stitch is going to be on the very low end of that. I don't think we're going to hear too much of that about this. People have generally been pretty positive about Stitch for a very long time, since day one. But that's the weird thing about people, man. They're very selective with their outrage. Even if this still ticks the same boxes as the next thing that they're going to complain about, but they didn't complain about this, it's like, we see you over here picking and choosing what you feel like making a big drama out of. Will I see it? I don't know. Here's the thing, with me and my tastes in Disney stuff, I was never the biggest fan of Lilo and Stitch, the original. And I think I've talked about this on stream before. Because when I was a kid, all the TV commercials for Lilo and Stitch, they were this fun little concept whereby they kept depicting Stitch infiltrating other Disney movies. So in one teaser, Aladdin's about to take Jasmine on the flying carpet, right? And Stitch portals into the Aladdin world and he hijacks the carpet and he goes on like a tear. And then another one, I can't remember all of them. But basically, take a bunch of classic Disney films like Beauty and the Beast, like Aladdin, like Lion King, and basically make a series of trailers where Stitch infiltrates every film and fucks with the plot. That was their marketing for the original film, their trailers, their teaser trailers. So as a kid, as a preteen, whatever the hell age I was convinced that the Stitch movie was going to be a kind of a Disney parody film about a weird mutant alien creature that's like a failed experiment from the Disney vaults that was meant to be a mascot character that didn't turn out right, kind of like the Animaniacs. I kind of thought it had a bit of Animaniacs to it. And Stitch was going to break out of the Disney vault, find some like sci-fi gear or whatever that lets him multiverse jump, and essentially avoid like the Disney FBI by movie hopping from like classic Disney film to classic Disney film, like ruining them as he goes, which essentially is an excuse to make like a high-level Disney parody film within Disney where they make fun of their own movies by having Stitch go in and kind of mess with them and ruin the plots, which I thought was genius. And then the movie came out, and it was a normal movie about a bunch of islanders who come across an alien, and it was just about family. It was essentially just Disney Fast and Furious. It was just a movie about the power of family, no matter who. Like this weird little alien with these island people, family, single tear down cheek, which is good. Like this, it's not a bad movie. It's just like I thought I was getting a different film, and I got a normal film. I got a normal, traditional, wholesome, family-friendly Disney film, and I was like, that marketing led me to believe I was getting something next level, like something we'd never seen before, a Disney parody from within Disney, and that's not what happened. And to this day, I'm still kind of butthurt by that. Lilo and Stitch has this dark cloud over it. Whenever I think about it, I have a flashback to how disappointed I was when I was younger, that it's not what I thought it was going to be. And I don't blame the movie for that. The movie, it's my fault. It's a bias. It's because of how I experienced the marketing and what I was led to believe. So if anything, I blame the marketing department. And it's unfair of the film that I had such a neutral view of it. You wonder how they'll handle the dynamic between him and Lilo, making CGI and child character dynamic feel genuine. The CGI will be good. The challenge will be the kids acting. Kids can sometimes be good actors. It's a tall order for a kid to be such a good actor that they can act to nothing. There's some adult actors that have pulled it off really well. But there's a lot of adult actors that can't even do it. So to expect a child to be able to pull it off, I mean, they better have found a really good little actress. That live action Frozen thumbnail is actually really hot. Check this out. See the top right thumbnail? That's a really attractive Elsa. I don't know what actress that's based off. It's clearly AI stealing an actress's face. Maybe the chick from Game of Thrones? I'm not sure. Jay's going to bed. He's had a big day and a violin recital. Was Bravenger at the recital? Supporting you? Better have. Bravenger better be a father figure. Good night, Jay. I'll be back tomorrow anyway for more Moonlighter. Oh, well, that princess juice didn't last long. At least it lasted throughout an actual Disney princess movie. Who exactly is the princess in Lilo and Stitch? Is it Stitch or is it Lilo? The jury's out on that. Okay. Before I move on to anything else... Thank you, Mr. D. The mum. The mum? Oh, the aunt. Is that who you reckon the Disney princess is? I think it's Stitch. I think Stitch is the Disney princess. They should have put him... Remember in the second Wreck-It Ralph movie, when they actually meet the Disney princesses hanging out in that room together? They should have put Stitch in that room and just not drawn attention to it. That would have been really funny. Wasn't it her sister? I can't remember. I haven't seen that movie since the cinema. Since it was out in the theaters. Bravenger's still on it. Bravenger is on the longest extended leave I've ever seen in my life. He just... I think he quit. And just didn't tell you. You're going to go like 2 years expecting him to come back and then be like, wait a minute. Where the fuck did Bravenger go? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Bravenger's doing porn. Oh, God.
Yes, that's some fine pussy. Take it, you little naughty minx. Oh, if the full length of Bravenger's fully taut member. You feel the vein? You feel the veiny ridges on your inner carnal walls? I'm going right to the back. The 90-degree hook in my shaft is hitting that G-spot on the upper shaft of your vaginal canal.
Why are we doing this?
I could barely handle all this fine bitch. Oh no, here comes a second. They didn't tell me it was going to be a threesome. Double the tongue on Bravenger's fully erect member.
Poor Bravenger. It's when you hear the V word. Oh yeah. I could turn that thing on. I was gonna wait to turn it on until after the the Ghouls and Ghosts showcase, whatever the fuck it's called. But I'll turn it on now because I'll forget otherwise. Um, but before any of that, I have to. Okay, there is a thumbnail flashing here in front of me on this Lilo and Stitch trailer that cannot be ignored. The new trailer for Sonic 3. The thumbnail's going all in on Keanu Reeves' shadow. Also, he has a gun in this thumbnail. Wow, that's a spoiler. This thumbnail just gave out a massive spoiler. Because I remember in the previous trailer when he had the motorcycle, people were like, oh, is he going to have the gun from the Shadow video game? He has the gun. He's packing heat. He's officially packing heat. Traumatizing to this little poof. You're gonna have nightmares now when you go to bed. Oh shit, I closed it. Wait. Sorry. Let me grab it again. Yeah. Got it. Keanu Reeves. Sonic. Why are the comments turned off on the Sonic trailer as well? This is Paramount Pictures. Are they also getting trolling? I get that there's probably a lot of trolling in the comments on Disney, but why Paramount? This is going to become a new thing, I think. This is how you avoid negativity. Just shut down the comments on your YouTube videos. Although lots of YouTube comments is a algorithm indicator. By turning off the comments, you're actually making it harder on the algorithm to actually find and recommend your shit. For good or for ill. Sometimes negative comments are still good because at least it adds to the subtotal of comments, which is all the algorithm cares about. It doesn't really care about what the comments are saying. So if you make a really negative, shitty video that a lot of people are inclined to comment on because they want to roast you, you're probably going to be successful. I mean, I don't even know why I'm explaining this. It's the thing that explains all the toxic YouTuber trends, all those pop culture leeches like The Quartering and Geeks Plus Gamers, Yellow Flash 2, all those knobs, Critical Drinker. It's all gross, man. Oh, what's that big black guy's name? I used to think he was alright, but he ended up going down that road as well. Damn, I forgot his name. He's a pretty big dude. Don't want comments swaying public opinion. I don't think it matters with something like Sonic. Like, Sonic does numbers no matter what. The two previous Sonic movies destroyed every other movie that came out the cinemas alongside it. Big Smoke, Reggie Dabbs. No, is it Tyrone? Tyrone Magnus? I think that was it. I saw him slipping like quite a while back, and I was like, let me get out of this now before it starts to get depressing. And then a little while later, I saw more of his content, and I was like, wow, he's like doubled down on that shit. The reaction guy. Yeah, that guy. See, I first came across him when he was reacting to You Laugh, You Lose videos, and it was kind of a way of seeing more You Laugh, You Lose videos, because people like that will find them for you, and then you just watch their video, and then you get to see the funny videos at the same time as they're also, reacting or trying not to react to it, which is kind of the point of You Laugh, You Lose. You're supposed to try not to laugh. But then, like, I started to see more of his trailer reactions and his movie review reactions, and they were fine at first, and then he started to turn into one of those quartering type dudes where every single trailer reaction, every single movie review, he would spend like so long whining about woke shit, and I'm like, this is so fucking boring. It's all he talks about now. When a new trailer comes out, the first thing he does when he sits down is like, "Whoa, let's hope it's not woke." And it's like, fuck, dude, that was the first sentence you said in the trailer, and now I don't care about anything else you say. Just watch the fucking trailer, please, God. Stop making it a thing. And then he talks. As soon as the trailer finishes, he goes back to talking about that stuff, and it's like, this is it now. This is the whole entire conversation. Please, let it go. I think the penultimate thing that I saw that disappointed me greatly from him was he made a whole anti-Disney video, which was just him sitting in front of the camera, talking about how he starts the video off talking about how his wife has always been a big fan of Disney, and since a little girl has always wanted to go to Disneyland and was never able to. And for the last like year or two, he'd been planning to surprise her for like their anniversary or for a big birthday to like take her to Disneyland for a weekend and like realize that dream. That's how the video starts, and that seems mad wholesome. And then it turns and he starts complaining about like, oh, but that was before Disney became like super woke, and I won't give Disney money, and I won't put up with any of this stuff, and like I won't touch any of their products, or so I refuse to like engage in like the Disneyland stuff or whatever that. And he actually like he brings her on camera next to him, and he explains to her how he planned to take her to Disneyland and why he's not anymore because of the woke stuff. And she just sits there kind of like smiling and nodding and kind of laughing along to it, like, oh, okay, yeah, and stuff. And I'm like, I was cringing internally. Like, I felt so bad for her. Like, he just explained to us how it was like she's always loved Disney, always wanted to go to Disneyland. And then puts her on camera and brags or, smugly professes to her face about how he's putting his foot down and they're not doing this anymore because this, and that. Well, she has to sit there and smile and play along. And I'm like, this is fucked, man. This is fucking partner abuse. Like, what a shit husband, man. Like, if you love your wife and you have some issue with Disney, you know what you probably should do? Shut the fuck up, put your personal feelings aside, and treat your wife to a trip to Disneyland. Swallow your pride and your fucking your weird toxic bullshit, and just go have a nice holiday with your wife. Go on some rides, eat some junk food, pay for some overpriced Disney bullshit. Do the whole fucking thing for her behalf, instead of like putting her on camera so she can be part of your smug little fucking pantomime, your little presentation, your little fucking theatrical performance about how trash Disney is and how they won't be getting any of our money and how we're not going to do this thing that you've always wanted to do. Oh, I hated that so much. All the other stuff is just kind of cringe, like he's just an anti-woke grifter now, whatever. Like, you can ignore it because everyone's just doing the same thing. It's the same bullshit. But that one thing, I was like, this is too far. This is actually... Everything else is disappointing. This thing actually makes me mad. Like, I think that was a super douchey thing to do. We're actually going to Disneyland Japan. Oh, that's sweet. Isn't Disneyland in Japan the place that has the Mario World area now? Or am I thinking of a different park? But it's definitely Japan, but it might be a different park. A good partner would acknowledge the disdain but do it for their partner. Well, yeah, because rather than caring about her feelings, he's basically made her a piece in his little performative online YouTube bullshit. And it seems like, I don't know, it legitimately seems abusive to me. Like, fuck it. I'm just gonna say it. Be like if a partner that shamed me for liking anime wouldn't let me do a convention. Yeah, like, why would you be with someone that makes you feel like trash for who you are and the things that you like, or that has smugly denounces the things that you're into or dislike, like you're some kind of loser piece of shit, and records it and puts it out for everyone to like laugh at and agree with you. It's like you're treating your wife like she's your enemy, and you're putting her on roast. I don't like, yeah. There's just levels to this stuff. Like on a certain point, if you're just a whiner, it might be cringe, but like I said, it's the same thing all the grifters do, so it's kind of like, it's easy to ignore. But I just think that every once in a while, one of them does something like that, where it's like, I don't think you realize how much you've like crossed a line here in terms of being like kind of a cunt. Like, there's having an opinion on something, and there's just straight up being a cunt. And sometimes that line is thin, but it can be pretty obvious when you step over it to everyone but the person that did it, apparently. On the plus side, a lot of other people feel the same about certain YouTubers like him. Like since then, I've seen a lot of Twitter posts about him from people that used to be fans, like back in the day, that used to love going to him from trailer reactions and movie reviews and stuff like that, that just, they're like, oh yeah, I dropped him like 5 years ago, and every time I see a clip from his stuff now, it's just like it makes my heart sink, because which is something that happens a lot. Like, a lot of people grow up with certain influences, especially on YouTube. And then at a certain point in time, personalities and tastes shift and grow apart. People become other people, or become infatuated with new ideas or different ways of thinking that separates from you. And then it becomes a thing of the past. You look back when you were a kid at like a YouTuber you used to love, and you remember it being so much fun back then, but then as an adult, you look at what they're like now, and it's like, wow, that went a direction. That made a 90-degree turn. People are going for reactions, they aren't coming for political commentary. Well, that's the thing. Like, the people, the toxic YouTube grifters that always go on about the anti-woke stuff, that's the kind of thing they claim to be against as well. They're like, oh, we shouldn't have politics in our movies or our games and our TV shows, and this is ruining this and this is ruining that. Missing the irony that all of their content is now political, and they are making it that, under the guise of them complaining about wanting things to be political. It's actually incredibly ironic, in a way. It's like, if you just shut up and play the game and let us know how you feel about the game, then there would be no problem. Like when people go on about Star Wars Outlaws or Dustborn or something, those are some examples of games that get the most hectic aggression from the anti-woke crowd. It's like, if you yourself dropped the political shit and stopped complaining about the same shit that everyone else is complaining about and bouncing around inside your bubble, if you just played the game and reacted to the game as a game, and how you felt about the things in the game as they happened, as you played it, and how you were enjoying or not enjoying it, things would be fine. You don't have to even like the game ultimately. We play plenty of games that turn out to be kind of boring or shit, but it's not about the game anymore. A lot of people that go on about Star Wars Outlaws never played Star Wars Outlaws. They don't want to play Star Wars Outlaws. They want to use it as ammunition in their little fucking agenda war. And it's like, you know what would be cool? Maybe it would be cool if you just played Star Wars Outlaws. Maybe it'll be shit and you'll hate it. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. But like, maybe play the game so we get an actual real opinion or reaction from you, as opposed to just the same old fucking, let's just talk about Sweet Baby Ink, or how much hotter the actress is in real life than her character model in Outlaws, or whatever the fuck they're whining about now. When they realize those videos get them views, I don't think they know how to stop making their content. Well, that's exactly it. At the end of the day, no matter how they got there originally, money is it. At the very end of the day, the reason we have so much of this stuff now and why it's so consistent is exactly what you said. It doesn't matter how they get there. Once they get there and they realize they're making maybe 20 to 25 times the money they were making before, and it's only on videos where they rage bait with the headline or the thumbnail. You know, like if you make one of those thumbnails with the big red text that says "Go woke, go broke," and then you have a picture of Brie Larson with the fake Photoshop tears coming down her cheeks. Like, if you make one of those and you get 50 times the money from it than if you make a normal video going, what's this game Moonlighter like? This looks fun. Let's have a look at this. And that makes barely fuck all. It's like, well, then your channel becomes 100% just the crying Brie Larson anti-woke video. Because this is going to make you rich. If they consistently give you that kind of money with no drop off, then it's like you found a money faucet. The money faucet is actually a good metaphor, because if you're walking down the street and you find a tap and you open it and money starts pouring out, would you close the tap? Most people wouldn't close the tap. Why would you close the tap? There's free money coming out of the tap. Like, it wouldn't make sense to close the tap. And that's it. That's the entire fucking grift in a nutshell. That's pop culture right there. This is the thing that gets clicks because people click on rage, not on joy. So once you crack that egg, that you stay there. You know who's okay? Very, very few people avoid the trap, right? I know someone who avoided the trap. Do you know Movie Bob on YouTube? Back a couple of years ago, Movie Bob reviews movies. That's probably obvious. A few years ago, the movie Pixels came out, the Adam Sandler one with the giant Pac-Man and shit, and everyone was roasting it. All the reviews were roasting it. YouTube videos are roasting it. Bob particularly had a poor time watching that movie, and it riled him up because he's also a gamer. He does some gaming YouTube content as well. Not playing games, but making think pieces, like YouTube essays talking about gaming stuff under a different branding. He was particularly riled up by that Pixels movie. He made a review video that kind of went down in history a little bit. Like, it's his most popular, just in terms of sheer views, video. And it was because he was particularly aggressive in his review. Like, the entire review was basically him just raging against the movie, and it was full of wall-to-wall just like, angry at the movie jokes, where you're just like, everything is hyperbolic. You know, that kind of humor, where you're just over-exaggerating like your hate for it, and just railing about everything in the movie that pissed you off. And it's good. It's entertaining. Like, if you hate Pixels, if you agree that was a trash movie and you watch that review, you'll have a good time. Like, it's funny because it's really pissed. But here's the thing. That is a subculture of YouTube videos. Rage videos. Rage bait videos. Videos where, and there's a lot of YouTuber movie reviewers that are like this now, where every video that can be a rage bait video of them just going off on how shit some film is a rage bait video where they go off about being how some shit some film is. Because those are the bigger clicks, the more popular videos. People want to see you rage, which is why people are more likely to click on a review of a movie that is well known to be shit. If a movie's getting 2 and 3 out of 10 reviews, then people are like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to go watch everyone's review on this because I want to see people rage about it. You want to see how funny people get with how, angry their jokes are and all that stuff. And that was the one time Bob did that, and it was his most popular video. It was his biggest numbers. And he made a video like a year or two later where he talked about that review. And the video was essentially about how, looking back at that review, he was kind of ashamed of himself. Because even though he did feel genuinely the way he felt about the movie at the time, he felt like he jumped on the bandwagon of rage baity reviews where he was playing up the anger and the hatred towards the film as the priority of the video, as opposed to the priority being reviewing the film. It became less about a fair review and more about just how hard can I rail on this movie for like comedy value, which equals YouTube clicks. And he's looked back at it and he was like, you know what? I don't actually hate it as much as I thought I did at the time. It was fresh. I thought I was angrier than I was, but looking back at it now, it was this weird it was this weird time in my life where I felt encouraged to make more videos like it, to actually seek out films that weren't very good, or maybe even just kind of average, but then exaggerate the rage against them. Like, be an asshole about the movie on purpose for the comedy value, because that's what's going to get me the most clicks. That's what was making for the most popular videos. And he struggled with this idea for a while until he eventually said, no, I'm not going to do that. And he, since then, the ultimate takeaway from that video he made talking about it was that he promised himself, he made a solid rule to himself, I'm not going to do that on purpose ever again. I'm not going to go back to that, like, oh, here's something that's particularly shit, I'm going to use this as an excuse to, like, go full rage bait on it. Like, he was going to purposely pull back and be like, no, professional movie critic, don't get emotional, don't rage for clicks, just talk about the movie, what's good, what's bad, what's the ultimate verdict, like, keep it professional, don't fall into the trap. And he kind of, like, has stuck by that. And it was hard at times. Like, he did admit that because he hates the Snyderverse stuff so much, it's very difficult not to rage hard against the Zack Snyder movies lately, especially things like that Rebel Moon that came out. But, like, you know, integrity. He kept it authentic. Yeah. And it took him dipping his toe over the line into the realm of the inauthentic, and to see the numbers, to realize the pull, and, like, why he would want to do it more. He genuinely felt the pull to make more videos like that, to purposely be more angry and more hateful towards more movies for those numbers. And that's what scared him. And he was like, I have to actually put my foot down and say, I'm not going to do a Pixels again. It's the most successful thing I've ever done. It's the first and only time I'm going to do that. I'm not going to fall into that trap. And some people like Movie Bob, some people hate Movie Bob. YouTubers are what would you call it? An acquired taste. Everyone likes certain YouTubers and hates certain other YouTubers. And he's a 50-50. Some people dislike him and find him smug or whatever and not funny. Other people love him for, I guess, some of the similar reasons. Like, for example, he might hate the Snyderverse stuff, which, if you also hate that stuff, you're more likely to be on his side and want to watch more of his videos. Sometimes having similar crossovers in taste for certain major properties links you to a YouTuber. But the thing is, he's not an artistic snob either. Like, he loves the Godzilla movies. He loves classy Godzilla movies like -1, 10 out of 10. He also loves trashy, shallow Godzilla movies like Godzilla vs. Kong, which he fucking loved. Like, he wants more of that just, like, popcorn cartoon Godzilla stuff. He genuinely enjoys the shit out of that stuff. So, like, he's a real dude. Like, he's not going to pretend like that movie is art, but he's not going to pretend like it's not a fun, awesome movie for people who just want to go watch the giant monsters smackdown. I mean, fucking Godzilla suplexes Kong in that movie like a WWE match to a pyramid. How can you not like that? How can you not enjoy that? It's like the Chris Stockman videos where he'd recount terrible films. Is that what he calls them? Hilariocraties? What? Hilariosities? Well, that's a word. In the vein of the Everything Wrong With series. There's a way to do this stuff, though. Like, if the concept is to look at bad things and kind of dig into them, like dig deep, in a comedic way, there's place for that. But there's a difference between that as a genuine concept or a series and just genuine rage baiting. Just genuinely looking for anything to hate on in an exaggerated, aggressive way. You know what might have started it in a funny way? I wonder how his Borderlands review went. That's a good question, actually. I should look into that. Remember the days of James Rolfe, Angry Video Game Nerd? See, his concept was to play a character where he was an exaggeratedly angry nerd that just rages against shit games. Like, that's a concept. That's a bit. That's a character done for comedic sake, right? But it did open up the floodgates once the YouTube era, because he's a pre-YouTube guy. Angry Video Game Nerd. Like, he has his own website that predates YouTube. His disdain for water levels. Yeah, him and me both. But then in the YouTube era, look how many Angry Video Game Nerds copycats we got. On a big level. Like, the Irate Gamer, which was the most cringe thing I've ever seen in my life. Even, what's his name? Angry Joe? The movie reviewer? I always felt like his origins were essentially, I'm going to do an Angry Video Game Nerd for movies kind of thing. And then he slowly kind of became his own thing out of that. But essentially the idea being, I'm going to play an exaggeratedly angry character where the whole bit is to hate on movies. I think the problem is that some of these started as characters, as bits, as skits. The concept was meant to be comedic for the exaggerated cartoonish rage that this fake character, this non-real character, had for these products. But now people genuinely act like that. There are YouTube channels on YouTube that are people that are not playing characters, that are genuinely just an influencer who reviews and looks at movie news and what's happening with Disney in the news, what's the review for this movie. They do all that stuff, but it's not a bit, it's not a character. They just genuinely are rage baiting clicks by being angry and hateful about everything. And that's when the toxic YouTuber era started. And I feel like it started from genuine examples like James Rolfe, who was playing a character who was doing a bit, who had a concept. And then that turned into a whole generation of real people, not playing characters, not doing bits, no concept. They play themselves off as actual YouTube influencer, pop culture, film, journalist reviewers that essentially are doing the same thing, but just not as a joke. They're just doing it for clicks and money. And the idea is hate everything. You know, whatever is going on in the news, whatever Disney's doing right now, find a way to be toxic about it, rage about it, and then have everyone in the comments go, here, here, down with the system. Money. Always been a fan of Joe because he had his pro-consumer light to his arguments. I think Joe is a funny middle ground where he started as a kind of copycat to the James Rolfes of the world, but just for movies. But he did it early enough that his early versions were just genuine kind of cringe copycat stuff. But he's been around long enough that he evolved into his own thing. And now he's seen, like Angry Joe is now seen as like a legitimate pop culture film influencer. Like, I don't think of him as like a James Rolfe angry nerd kind of pop culture rage baiter copycat anymore. I used to when I first heard about him, I knew that's where he was coming from, and that's all I thought of him as. But he's stuck around long enough to evolve into like his own thing. So, like, that's a unique situation, I think. When you look at characters like the Irate Gamer, that's a very good example of pure cringe copycat syndrome. Like, that guy was trying so hard to be James Rolfe, but the thing is, James Rolfe is only kind of funny. Like, he's funnier when you were younger, because there's nothing particularly witty about James. He kind of has a very nerdy, very the funniest things are the more edgelordy, like, I'm just gonna say shit pickle and diarrhea, feces, piss vomit a lot about how bad a game is. And like, that's funnier when you're like a preteen or a teenager, because it's aggressively juvenile and you're just kind of like, whatever. And now it's more of a nostalgic, like, I still occasionally watch a new Angry Video Game Nerd video. I'm still subscribed to him on YouTube, and I occasionally do watch them, and it's a funny experience because I don't find them as funny as I used to, and I see a lot of the cringe in his humor more so nowadays than I used to as well. But I still kind of enjoy them because I genuinely like James. I think he's like an OG. He's an OG internet personality, and there's there's kind of a nostalgia layer to what he does and how it really hasn't changed for like his entire internet career. His audience has changed a bit. Like I'm sure that the people, more of his millions of current viewers are probably still 13, 14, 15 year olds, and a lot of the older OG fans probably still think of it in a nostalgia vein, but probably don't really watch as much anymore. When they think about James Rolfe, they're like, "Oh yeah, that guy's awesome," but they don't really really watch the videos anymore. You know what I mean? Over time, he became a lot less harsh, and then he hired a guy called Alex that was a lot more harsh. It was kind of satisfying seeing them butt heads. Oh, Angry Joe. Yeah, yeah. I wonder what happened to Matt Matei on Angry Video Game Nerds. I haven't seen him around in a while. They used to do like certain kind of review videos together about like board games and things. And then there was that weird viral thing on Twitter for a while about how people had started spreading this thing where he like may have cucked James with his wife, and then another viral thing directly off the heels of that about how Matt Matei had like a massive cock or something, and people were posting all this evidence as to why they thought he had a big dick. I'm like, what the hell was going on with that era of the Angry Video Game Nerd universe? Oh yeah, then he made a movie. I forgot. James made a film, the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. I never saw it. I should watch that. Angry Joe has always had other Joe, who's had this chill, happy-go-lucky dude. I find nowadays I find those kinds of people more fun to watch. People who have a more chill, happy-go-lucky attitude to consuming pop culture media. Because I'm tired of watching people rage against stuff just because that's what you do. It's like, yeah, it's too easy. I'm happy to rage against something if I'm in the middle of playing it and something about it is pissing me off. Like if I'm playing fucking Race with Ryan and Ryan won't shut the fuck up because he has to drop an audio soundbite, one of 5 that they recorded, only 5, every 3.5 seconds that I'm trying to drive those go-karts around. Yeah, sure, I'm gonna rage, but for the most part, I'd kind of like to just chill and enjoy gaming. Just don't get people, man. Like every time, to go back to Star Wars Outlaws, every time I see gameplay of Star Wars Outlaws, it looks like a game that I would enjoy. Like I feel like I would have a pretty chill time with that game. It looks fun to me. But everyone just keeps on screeching that it's a piece of trash game and should be boycotted for things that don't seem to matter. Even when there are legitimate complaints, like look how jank the stealth is, or look at this weird takedown that makes no sense or whatever. It's like, yeah, but that's funny. That doesn't make it a bad game. In fact, that makes it more fun to play. When that stuff happens to me in games, I'm like, hell yeah. That was hella funny. Anyway, next, more game, please. And he saw the Fred movie. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think I want to watch the Fred movie. I've seen clips from it, and I think I would tear my eyeballs out. More of a Ubisoft issue. Yeah, but that's the thing with Ubisoft, though. I'm easy on Ubisoft because I get the blueprint. I understand why people don't like the blueprint. Because Ubisoft have a particularly obvious way of blueprinting open world games that you can see the through line between different games. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Star Wars Outlaws. You can see the connective tissue, the cut and paste. But I don't care. Like, if you give me a Ubisoft game, give me any Assassin's Creed, give me any Watch Dogs, give me any Far Cry, give me Outlaws, I'm going to enjoy it because I like open world games. I like box ticking gameplay. There's an OCD part of my gamer impulses that likes to go, okay, I need to go capture all the towers to unlock the map. I need to get all the feathers. I need to unlock all the intel dossiers. I need to, you know what I mean? Like I want to go to all the icons on the map and do the things and tick off all the stuff I got to do. I love that shit. Does that make for particularly engaging gameplay? Probably not, but I'm engaged, so no complaints here. If you have that level of OCD, it's going to engage you, even if it's not particularly immersive to a normal person. In fact, it seems very obvious, like a video game blueprint, just laid out in front of you to give you something to do for 30 hours. You got these studios spending years on these massive games, and Ubisoft cranked them out like budding snacks. Criticism is warranted. I never. Well, that's the thing. I never thought the criticism wasn't warranted. I think the rage is not warranted because they're still decent games. They're just obvious games. They're the McDonald's of games. We know what we're getting from a Ubisoft open world game, and just like with McDonald's, sometimes that's what I want. When I feel like exploring a massive island covered in icons to tick some boxes, to get that catharsis from my gaming experience, I'll go to Ubisoft. Just like how when I feel like a Big Mac, I'll go to McDonald's. I don't know why people rage against them. You don't have to play them if you're not feeling that blueprint anymore, if it's become too gregarious to you. But it doesn't make for a bad game. It just makes for an obvious game. Outlaws was never reviewed as a bad game. I saw most outlets like IGN, for example, giving it 7 out of 10. And I think that's a perfectly understandable review score for a Ubisoft game. Most Ubisoft games, open world Ubisoft games, to me, look like 7 out of 10s. The 8 and the 9 and the 10 is unreachable to Ubisoft because you don't reach 8s and 9s and 10s with a blueprint. You get there with ingenuity, with creativity, with breaking the mold, with making something genuinely, new and exciting that gets gamers riled up. 7 out of 10 just means good. Just good. Not excellent, not great, not perfect. A little bit better than average. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's a perfect score for almost all Ubisoft open world games. Slightly better than average, just good. You want to run around as a fucking rogue scoundrel chick, stealthing it up around a Star Wars open world? Outlaws, 7 out of 10. You want to sneak around San Francisco and hack things with your phone in a near future hacktivist simulator? Watch Dogs, 7 out of 10. You want to sneak around some medieval village and assassinate people from the shadows? Assassin's Creed, 10 out of 10. You don't want that? Fuck it. Don't have to play it. It doesn't make it bad. Just because you don't want to play it and it's basic to you, which you're right about. It is basic. It's not breaking any molds, but doesn't mean it's still not 7 out of 10. The moment you realized Ubisoft was EA during Rainbow Six Siege when they announced each update there would be only one new operator. Oh. Yeah, there's a little bit of that going on. I mean, they're not as bad as EA in that regard, but there's some of their properties are touching on that shit now. Although I don't really get much visibility of that because that's not my realm of gaming. I stay away from the esports multiplayer stuff and the looter shooter shit. Lost potential. Seeing what Ubisoft can do in relatively short development cycles makes you wonder what they could achieve in a larger one. Yeah, but they're a mega corporation like McDonald's, which needs to pump out IP. Like, they are what they are. Like, I don't feel the need to really lament what Ubisoft could be or could have been when it's like, that's like complaining, why isn't McDonald's like putting in more effort to be a fancy restaurant and selling French cuisine? It's like they could, and they could probably pull it off, and maybe that would be delicious, but there already are French restaurants that are doing just that, and that's why you go there. I don't need McDonald's to turn into that. Just, let Ubisoft cook their reheated processed meat trash, because sometimes I need that trash. And they're at least consistent with their productivity in that regard. Whenever they do a new IP and it's good, you just know they're going to spend the next couple of years playing copy and paste. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that either. Like, I agree with most of the things you've said. It's just that I don't really care because that's Ubisoft to me, and I accept that. That's what they do. Because that's the realm they live in, going back to the fucking constant McDonald's metaphor that I keep making. And that's what I want them to be there for. That's how I engage in their part of the industry. I will inevitably play more Far Cry games, more Assassin's Creed games, more Watch Dogs games. I would love to eventually try Outlaws for myself. It's just, it's been a while since I've been able to. because I don't really have as much access as I used to. What was the last Ubisoft game I played? Um, it might have been Watch Dogs 2. Here's the rundown. I've played every Assassin's Creed up until Syndicate, right before they changed the model to more of an RPG with Origins, the Egypt one. So I've played every Assassin's Creed up until they changed the formula. And then I was at school again, so I couldn't afford games. And I never really managed to get back on the boat. I've played every Far Cry up until 4, including all the DLC. So 5 and 6 I've missed out on. I've played Watch Dogs 1 and 2. I never got around to Legion because that was also during the period where I was back at school and couldn't afford games. What else is there? I've played all their Rayman games. Rayman Origins, Rayman Revolutions. What else? I don't play their stuff like The Division or Rainbow Six Siege. That's not my thing. You want to get Unity on the Steam Deck? I like Unity. Unity got massively pantsed when it first came out because that was the one Assassin's Creed that wasn't ready to go when launched. Like, it was a new engine, and it was a bit scuffed. So, it's actually a decent Assassin's Creed that got tarnished by its launch. Much like Cyberpunk. But unfortunately, Unity didn't really make the Cyberpunk recovery. They eventually fixed everything, but no one gave a shit by the time it was fixed, so... Far Cry 4 was good. It was a good game. And the DLC was fun too, the one that takes place up in the Snowy Mountains against the Yeti. We stopped playing during the golden era. It's not that I stopped playing, like I never intended to stop playing, it's just that I lost gaming for a while because I went back to university and I was very poor and very busy. I had no time to play games or do anything of the sort. I was always working and doing school stuff. And I had no money, even if I wanted to, spend on gaming. So I went through a period of a couple of years where I basically didn't play any games. And that was a sad period, but, you know, I got a lot of schooling done. You remember Rayman Legends Splinter Cell? Yeah, I've played every Splinter Cell as well up until Blacklist, which I actually do own. I have the box copy on the shelf, and I was going to time playing it with a friend of mine. We were going to play the single player at the same time, so that when we unlock the co-op missions, we'd be ready to play them with each other. And my friend ended up getting married and having kids, and basically that friend basically barely ever gets a chance to game and never got back to Blacklist himself. Oh yeah, Rogue also, that's right. Rogue, the spin-off to Black Flag. Does sound like a rough period. The only consolation is the fact that you don't really get much time to suffer the loss of games when the reason you're not playing games is because you're too busy. Like, it's hard to... You don't really do much sitting around lamenting that you're not playing games when you're sitting around working feverishly trying to get work done. Like, sweating, finishing projects, doing essays, oral presentations, also doing work to make money for rent around that. Like, I was super busy. And then going into film school on the tail end of that, I was even busier. Like, spending 6 months putting together a film production with the shitloads of pre-production documentation and paperwork you have to create. There's a lot to it. When you're making short films and you're the director, writer, and producer, you're like your own admin. You should have seen how much paper... I have folders in my cupboard of paperwork surrounding the short films I've made. Storyboards, different variations of the script in different colored paper. Markup scripts, shot lists, remix shot lists designed for the DP versus designed for the AC. The AD. Markup scripts for the actors versus separately marked up scripts for the director and the AD. Fucking release forms. for the actors, release forms for locations, insurance documentation for locations, insurance documentations for the crew and the cast. Oh my god. Like at some point the pre-production of film can feel a lot like being a lawyer. You spend most of your time dealing with paperwork and having meetings with people. Jesus Christ. Why have I got YouTube open? Oh yeah. We were gonna watch the Sonic 3 trailer before this conversation kicked off. What the fuck? That was a while ago now. Whoops. My bad. And then your links that you were sending me. We should become directors if we want to stop gaming. It doesn't surprise me that directors don't have much time to do things like game or even go see other movies. Making films is full on. It basically becomes your life. You kind of live it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like joining. It's kind of like joining the military. Like that's your life now. Like you live that experience. Like if you get shipped off to another country, you exist to be military guy. You have a daily shift schedule where you're on patrol here, you're on guard here, you have time in lieu here where you're like, you spend all the time cleaning or fucking peeling potatoes. Like there is no like leisure time version of you like how a 9-to-5 shift worker gets to leave work and go back to their normal life. Your normal life is that career. I feel like being a director is very much like that. You live and breathe the film that you're making for like 2 years straight. You wonder what Dave Patel went through for, I'm just gonna fix the spelling in my head as I read it, went through for Monkey Man. He was also a stuntman. Yeah, like, you ever seen the movie Monsters? By the guy that eventually went on to do the remakes of Godzilla? It was an independent film with, I think it's Scott Speedman? It's a very good film. It's an indie film, but it has, like, some Hollywood-level VFX, because that director is a VFX artist himself, and was like, I'm gonna make a indie film, a handheld indie film where I do the VFX myself over the course of a few years. Him, his camera guy, and the two lead actors, the girl and the guy, the four of them basically went to Europe and spent like over a year just traveling, like backpacking with the camera and the script. And the whole film was essentially filmed on the go with the four of them just like traveling around the country and just filming scenes in different places. And then once he was back in America after that like year or 2 years of travel, he would just sit on his computer and just do all the VFX and editing. And now it's like a film you can get on Blu-ray. It's a really good film. But yeah, like that's a case of people that live the craft. You know what I mean? Like that cameraman and those two actors were on the same page with him, and they were like, we're going to go to Europe and we're going to spend like over a year just backpacking. And we're just going to film this movie slowly but surely as we find locations. And all the other people that show up in the movie that they interact with, the two main actors, like the people they buy ferry tickets off, or the cops that they talk to or whatever, all the extras or the side characters, they're just real people they found on location that they got permission to, like, you want to be in the film and be the guy the characters come up to and buy tickets off or whatever. So everyone is real people, which is why the performance is so natural, because they're not you know how like when you get a non-actor and they're kind of cringe on camera because they like the acting's bad, they're just like fucking, they go full neutral like deer in the headlights, and they're like very wooden because they're scared of being on camera. These people are so natural and so don't give a fuck, because they are literally just like randos off the streets of some poor town in Europe, that they are just actually just perfectly natural on camera because they don't care. They're not trying to act for you. They're just like, okay, this my actor is a character that's doing this. He's going to come and try to get this from you and talk to you about this. Just do it. And they just talk to or react to the actor like it was just a real thing happening. They found people already in character. Yeah, exactly. Like, and they were, you know, they were just part of the environment. And they're like, oh, you want me to deal with this guy as if he's coming in to do this, and I just have to react to him the way I would? Okay, fine. I don't give a shit how your movie goes. I don't know what a movie is. Fuck your movie. You'd send your actor in. I'll just talk to him like a dude. And everyone in the movie is great. It is a somewhat science fiction film about a almost post-apocalyptic, like Europe set film about some people traveling through a quarantine zone where these almost like building-sized jellyfish creatures came to Earth like a long time ago, and it's about what the world is like now after that happened. And there's like these big walls set up between the poor parts of town and the rest of the country, where like a lot of the bad stuff happened. And you don't see too much of the alien stuff, but when you do, it's like legit Hollywood level quality. And that was just one guy doing it. There's a scene towards the end where the main character finally comes across one of these jellyfish alien creatures at a gas station, an abandoned gas station in the middle of the night in the pitch dark. And it's actually a beautiful scene. Like, the scene's mostly only lit by the kind of neon lights that come from inside the jellyfish creature. And it's kind of an amazing scene. It's almost like these are things that we weren't sure if we're meant to be scared of or not throughout the course of the story. And then we finally see one, and it's like, it's not scary at all. It's actually majestic. Anyway. That was a massive tangent to come back to just watching Sonic the Hedgehog's trailer. Let's do it.
Here we go. Showtime.
Oh my god, what an amazing start to the trailer.
Are you Detective Pikachu?
He does look like a...
Is it just me, or was that the fakest dub voice I've ever heard in my life? Probably has a lot of guns. Oh, Shadow. I hope so. Well, the thumbnail gave away he's got at least one gun. I love that they found a way to get the Chow Garden in the movie. In case you don't know, if you're not a Sonic fan enough, the Chow Garden was like a Tamagotchi mode in Sonic Adventure, where you go to hatch your Chow eggs and bring up your Chows like a virtual pet. But in this case, it's a mascot restaurant.
What is this den of madness?
Are you Detective Pikachu?
That is some bullshit, man. That is not her voice. That is an adult female voice actress overdubbing this child. Ready?
Are you Detective Pikachu?
There's no way.
Like a Pokemon. Pika Pika.
Is Nintendo gonna sue Sega?
Koichi, what?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna keep pausing this, but that was both an awesome and a rough start to this trailer. The Chow Garden was a big thumbs up from me. The little girl's dubbing and Sonic saying Konichi what when he saw the drones had me a little in my cringe.
It's time.
Can we cancel Sonic? Is that racist? Is that Konichi what joke racist? Is that going to affect the movie at all? This just in Twitter news. Random unpopular streamer Seankichu calls for the cancellation of Sonic the Hedgehog over bigoted line of dialogue. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of traction.
Finally, we will have our revenge. But what good is a dastardly plot if you can't conspire?
Look, it's Gerald
with
Robotnik.
family?
There's two Eggmen now?
Double your villains, double your fun.
People are probably thinking they just added this for the movie, but Gerald Robotnik is from the
Nice magic marble.
is from Sonic
real
lore.
Scary. That actually is real scary.
Wow, Knuckles' teeth is really strong. Oh no.
Maddie, we need your help on a super...
This is where the trailer takes a nosedive.
Oh, excuse me.
Maddie, we need your help on a super dangerous top secret mission.
Why? James Marsden is wearing a fucking donut
Maddie, we
jersey.
need your help on a super dangerous top secret mission.
When?
Really? Look at this jumper. Donut Lord. Oh. Sonic probably knitted this for him. I forgot he calls him Donut Lord in the movies. Why would you wear it though? I like her t-shirt. All her muffin. Oh no, that's an apron. I guess she works at a muffin stand? Didn't she have like a real job in the previous films? Did she get fired because she's friends with an alien hedgehog?
Are you ready?
We were born ready.
Oh my god, cringe humans.
All right, boys, try and keep up.
I have a real love-hate relationship with this franchise.
We've got
The movies, I mean. I love the Sonic games.
Powered.
We can rule humanity.
When we're done, there won't be anything left to rule.
That is dark.
He's doing it.
Somebody better
Okay.
call Google.
That's actually pretty accurate. In one of the Sonic Adventure films, their little Doomsday Cannon thing actually does put a hole in the moon. Although in this case, it looks like they're slicing off a chunk, not putting a hole in it.
Life's all about the choices we make. Remember to listen to your heart. You're gonna make the right choice when it matters the most.
Listen to your heart.
Wanna head down
See?
to
He's got a
another?
gun.
Who does your highlights?
The more you talk,
This is all the fans asked for. Shadow needs to be packing heat.
This ends now.
You know there's gonna be plebs in the comments that are gonna think that the Shadow with the gun is a reference to John Wick because of Keanu's voice. Not realizing that, like, in the game, Shadow was packing heat the entire time.
destiny awaits. You were
Wow,
right
he really
about
looks
one
like
thing.
Robotnik now.
This ends now.
That one shot was Robotnik as fuck. Oh my god. You can't really complain about Jim Carrey shenanigans, even if it doesn't really make sense why it's in a Sonic movie. Like, we take it. We'll take it. It's a reference to Johnny Silverhand. Imagine if Shadow actually had a line of dialogue that was like, what was it? Wake up. Wake up, Space Cowboy? No. That wasn't Space Cowboy. What was it? Fuck. Was it just wake up? What did he say in the trailer? I feel like it was wake up something cowboy. Wake the fuck up samurai. Oh, my brain swapped samurai for cowboy for some reason. Oh, you know why my brain changed it to wake up space cowboy? I think that's a line from Cowboy Bebop. We've got a city to burn. Samurai is the name of his band. I kind of wish that the first one was true. The name of his hand. That makes it sound like a reference to wanking now. Wake the fuck up, samurai. We've got a cock to burn. Here comes the friction. Where's that shot? Hang on, let me full screen this. I want to show you what I mean. There's one shot of Jim Carrey here that is fully Robotnik realized. This one. Yeah, right here. Right there. Like, from a distance, you could almost think that's like an actual CG Robotnik from the games. Cyberpunk has been fun. Turns out there's a bunch of side missions I missed from playing on Xbox. I'm sure with games like that, also with Mass Effect and Dragon Age, there's always side missions that you miss because there's just too much in the game. And sometimes there are side missions and main mission choices that actually lock you out of side missions. There's arcs you miss if you don't do them on time or just say no at the start. Yeah, exactly. No, there's some that you wouldn't even know exist because of certain choices you make in other side missions or even in the main quest. And then the side mission just never occurs. Did you do the one with the talking gun? I remember seeing someone's YouTube video about that. There's a side mission where you get an AI driven pistol that talks to you. You got Skippy. And I think the good way, the proper way to finish that side mission is to eventually turn the gun in and lose it. But you can make the choice to keep it for yourself, but then you don't actually successfully complete the side mission the way it was intended. So you get it's like the bad ending to the side mission, but the upside is you get to keep the air gun for the rest of the game. Your game is too hard for me to use him. Sad. You did one where you got kidnapped by scavengers. That reminds me of the GTA 5 side mission where you can get yourself kidnapped. and you get dropped off in the desert from a van. You had no items except for Skippy. Man, I feel like I'm in the minority about these Sonic movies because of my fandom for Sonic. I can't commit 100% to this. People genuinely love these films and consider them some of the better. They're on the better side of video game adaptation movies, but like, there's things about it I appreciate bringing to the big screen, but as a Sonic fan, it's not what I want. There's so many things about it that still disappoint me, and that I can't believe this is what we're getting. This is what we still get. As someone with a filmmaking background and like training and all that, for the longest time I've actually had a Sonic movie in the back of my mind that I would make. It's existed for a long time, and I've kind of like mentally developed it for a long time as well. It is fully 2D animated. It does take place in on Morbius. It's not a fucking the Sonic characters get magically transported to Earth so they can go on road trips with James Marsden. I like James Marsden, but this fucking movie blueprint for animated character comes to Earth and goes on a road trip with some human celebrity actor. I just fucking tired of that shit. I can't stand it. I'll use Skippy, dies immediately. Poor Skip. Novelty item at best. I just want more. I want a Sonic film that, as an adult fan of the games, that I can be hype about. I don't get hype for this. I'm intrigued by this. I'm willing to watch this. There's things about these that I find fun. The Keanu Reeves Shadow thing with the motorcycle and the gun being actually in the movie, that's fun. The Jim Carrey stuff is fun as Robotnik, but it's not my Sonic film that I want. And there's too many kids movie bullshit. These movies are there's too much like there's too much kids movie shenanigans to keep the kids laughing and clapping in the audience. Like in the second film when they have to get the map from the Norwegians in that bar in the mountains, and they do that whole song. They did that whole dance battle against those Norwegian dudes. That whole scene is fucking stupid, man. Like, and it makes no sense. You have a character with super speed. He can go in there and take it and leave so fast they'd never even see him. It's like having stealth. Why are we on a undercover mission to have a dance battle against a bunch of Norwegians? You know why? Because it's a kids movie, and they want to have a dance sequence where Sonic does some breakdance moves to Bruno Mars, because the kids will scream and clap in the audience. Whereas I'm sitting there going, this is completely nonsensical, because you're dealing with a character that can move at the speed of light, and you're not using those abilities to complete like redundant, easy tasks that having super speed would make child's play. Like, it fucking kills me. The entire time that scene was happening, I was like, why is this scene happening? Why does Sonic regularly forget that he has fucking super speed? It's driving me crazy. I keep wanting to scream at the screen like, you have super speed. Do the thing. Shackled by the family film formula. Yeah. I have a whole film in my head that I would make. Like, I could sit down now and I could write out the entire 2-hour film script treatment right now, start to finish, stream of consciousness. I've figured out the whole thing. It's been in my head for a good decade. It's been over 10 years since I first thought of like an idea, and then added to it over time. Every time I thought about it, I added more stuff to it and figured out more of it, like the entire 3-act structure. And now the whole thing just exists in my head. I know exactly what I would do. And it would be you know what it would be? It would be a 2D animated film in the style of Redline. Do you remember the anime Redline? that style of animation with that level of kineticness to the way they depict speed. It's technically anime, but it's more of like that edgy MTV sort of style of anime. Because I think one of the things that's missing in Sonic media outside of the games is really capitalizing on the sense of speed, the idea of speed. Just how fast is fast and how destructive is speed. Like when you move at the speed Sonic can move, that shatters glass. Like if you ran down the highway, cars would slide inwards. They would be sucked inwards by the inertia. If you ever look at a Formula One car at its fastest with its downforce that it creates from how flat it is to the ground, like that will suck a manhole cover out of the street if it drove over it from the sheer downforce of that going past. A Formula One car could actually drive on the ceiling. If you had a perfectly circular tunnel and it was at full speed, a Formula One car could actually go up on the roof because the speed and the downforce is sucking it to the surface. You obviously couldn't stay up there for like indefinitely. You'd have to kind of go around and then come back down, but you can get up there. Red Line is a movie that nearly made them bankrupt. And it's on the screen, I tell you what. That movie's awesome. The intensity of the speed and how they depict it in that film is like, mwah, chef's kiss. So will Jay if you let me. Yeah. Heyo. I feel like Jay probably appreciated that joke in his sleep. He did that thing, you know, when people are dreaming about something nice and you see them smile in their sleep and then they roll over? That just happened. That just happened in Jay's bed. He felt the vibes from our stream. Hopefully this is the best of the three. That's not really saying much. They are going to murder this child, by the way. Maria's time on this earth is very short. She's about to get shot by one of the gun agents. GUN. What does that stand for? Gun. It's an acronym for something. Global United something, maybe. I hope they don't chicken out and pull their punches on this. Because a large part of Shadow's backstory is the murder of this little girl. The soldiers have to gun her down trying to help him. And that's what makes him so surly. And that's what puts Gerald Robotnik, because that's his niece. That's what puts Gerald Robotnik on the side of evil as well. Him and Shadow working together. Gorilla Ubiquitous Nuns. That title right there is worthy of a film in itself. I don't know if something can be ubiquitous and gorilla at the same time. Those are kind of conflicting words. A guerrilla force is, by design, a small rebel force that fights back from the shadows. Whereas ubiquitous is something that is everywhere. That is part of society. That is... A fridge is ubiquitous because everyone has a fridge in their house. They just exist everywhere. They're part of, how everything works. Most brands and products and services aim for ubiquity. If your brand gets to a point where it's ubiquitous with society, then you've made it. You're now rich forever. Like McDonald's. We've come full circle. The nuns are everywhere when you least expect it. You ever see the meme from that, I forget what movie it was, but where the nun is on the ladder, washing the window, and the cop is walking past, and he stops, the detective. He's like a Dirty Harry style detective. And he stops and he turns around and he like squints and he's like, wait a minute. Nuns don't work on a Sunday. And then he drops to the ground and pulls out his fucking magnum and shoots her and she falls off the ladder. That's a genuine scene. Do you remember this? I probably sound crazy right now. Hang on. Surely it's on YouTube. Hell yeah, it is. We're moving on from Sonic. We're now in memes. I have to get to your link still. What the fuck is... Oh, here we go. Why did
sister.
Why did every 70s action hero look like this, dude?
Good morning, sir.
And every 70s action movie, they always run around with the gun out like this. In those fucking mom jeans.
Guns don't work on Sunday.
They also always have to, like, do the dive roll onto their back when they shoot somebody. Far out, that happens a lot in 80s movies. Oh, that was Magnum P.I., by the way. That was from that Magnum P.I. TV show. It's exactly how I walk around in VR. Hell yeah. The comments in this is amazing. The first comment is, he was having none of it. If I ever see a nun working on Sunday, I know exactly what to do. I love how the nun turned into a brother after started shooting. Really? Wait, was it a stuntman? Holy shit. Wait. Oh my god, that's a guy! Whoa! That looks like an Arab man. Yeah, this shot here when he falls off the ladder. That's a dude's face. Holy shit. I mean, that's not the worst stuntman swap I've seen. I've seen one, I'm trying to remember what the movie was now, but it's a character, I think it's a martial arts fight, and a character either gets thrown or kicked down some stairs, and it cuts to the stuntman doing the stair roll, the stair fall, but like the stuntman changes to a black dude. Like you can see his arms are black, but the guy that got thrown was like a white guy. Hold on. Black stuntman stairs. Oh, these are all just like actual stunt videos. Funny? It's hard sometimes to figure out what the things you have to type in. Damn. I wish I could remember what the movie was. It was an older film. An older action film. Changing race. Oh, now it's them changing tires in a race. See what I mean? It's really fucking hard to figure out what to type into Google to the search. Changing black? Black dynamite bitch slap. Okay, I need to see this. Sorry.
Oh, you's a corn-fed fool with a lot of muscle mass.
Hell yeah.
But it's time for Bullhorn to get up in that ass. Motherfucker.
Wait, what? Was that an outtake? Didn't even make contact.
Let everybody know, and suckers be warned, that this is the outcome when you mess with Bullhorn.
Jesus Christ, that dude is maximum pimp. That was amazing. Nobody does pimps like the 70s. Absolute aura. Absolute aura. I've seen this scene. Hang on. I don't want to watch this whole video.
Man.
There's a scene here where one of the drug dealers reacts to something with an actually genuinely funny line. Brings you back to Saints Row 2. I've seen this scene clipped so many times. Here.
Don't sell ass. Pimp will.
Shut up, Daisy.
Ouch. I just got one thing to lay on you cats.
Here we go.
Split.
Wait, this is the bit.
I am declaring war on anybody who sells drugs in our community.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
That is the best fucking line I've ever seen in any 70s film. I'm just gonna let you know. I'm declaring war on anyone who sells drugs in the community. But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. that is the best line read. That dude couldn't have nailed that line read any better. Hang on, I gotta do that again full screen. It's too fucking good.
Ouch. I am declaring war on anybody who sells drugs in our community.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
Oh my god, that's like one of my favorite things ever. It's so good. Nah, man, you're cool. I wonder if anyone comments on it. There's so many. This is a 10-minute compilation of funny moments in Black Dynamite. People are going to be commenting on like everything. The pimp circle is legit one of the greatest scenes in movie history, and I mean that unironically. I think that was the scene that we're talking about. That room where the pimps are all sitting in a big circle talking. Yep, here's someone quoting it. I sell drugs in the community. Makes me laugh every time. Laughing emoji. One of my favorite lines ever. Yep, there's my people. There's my people in the comments. I like how we can be us as humans, we can be tribal even about like our favorite quote from a movie. Like all I want to see is the people referencing that one quote that I like. It's like, you guys are the gang of people that this is your favorite part of the movie, and over here is the gang of people that are this favorite part of the movie, and then we meet in the middle and we fight. Like a Michael Jackson music video. Oh yeah, the links. The links. Wouldn't it be ironic if it actually went to a Zelda video and it was actually Link? Kendrick rapping like the Rents do. Wait, what's this from? Kendrick Lamar Duckworth? Is his last name actually Duckworth, or was that a joke? The fuck?
His favorite partner hit the domino table. Tony had told him that he saw a young nigga hopping out busting like 4 charges.
His actual name is Duckworth? I had no idea. That's wild. Sucking glass dicks. We're about to bring Jay back to the stream. Tumbling backwards into a karate kicking high note. My innocence will eventually see a hindrance, surrender and peace and Sega Genesis. Hurdled over my bunk bed, air hustling. Something my papa said that caught my attention. His eyes red, he smoking no marijuana, mixing the 211. He said people thought he was the goat, but he was the goat. Wait, was that joke meant to be people thought he was the duck, but he was the goat? Is that a typo? Yeah, I thought so. I thought about it for a second and I was like, okay, I think I see what the joke was meant to be.
the streets and remain to be on the honor roll. Sacrifice my life even if that shit my mama though. Till the day he carried by the big six.
Why does he sit with his hand like this, like he's holding a joint? Oh, he stopped. There was a whole stretch there where he was just sitting with his hand out like this, like he was holding a joint, but he wasn't.
Like the strongest manure, I'm ready when you was is it. I'm in the lab cooking up all day, F 'em up all day, like a nympho. I've been dope since S-curl ways, trying to convince hoes I got good hair, knowing damn well there's chemicals there.
This guy's going in on his little edit. He's just shoving whatever he can in here. Jesus Christ. It's like watching a YouTube poop. Interesting choice of hose. Oh my god. A Shibu and a kitten driving a car.
You probably think I'm dope like it's the realest shit I wrote, but to me it's a throwaway. I stare at them four walls and rap like I'm mad at God. Nice enough for throw a spirit NOS to chat bitch ain't. Matter of fact, no, I take that back. See, I don't play with real legends and rap like you do. When I'm crucial, come real by real scripts and Subarus, and they shoot like photography students will beef get the boom. Compton.
Okay. He needs to breathe. Oh, he's written a little thing to Kendrick. Keeping it real. Doesn't matter whether Kendrick reads this or not, this is for me. Thanks for the effort, the pain, the love, the passion you've shown. That's not how you spell shown. He wrote, wait. The passion you've sown into your art. I guess he maybe means sown, like poetically sown. No, but that's S-E-W-N, right? Doesn't matter. Either way. Refined self-expression which etches your soul into our ears and your reality to our hearts. On the contrary, I've lived a privileged life with freedom to explore and make mistakes. There's one thing I'm thankful for. It's the freedom I've had to explore art and creativity. You open my reality up to endless possibilities of creative... Wow. Mega glaze session. Love for the craft and some damn work combined with a piece of art that can be appreciated by absolutely anybody. A true poet. And then he burst into tears. There are different spellings for sown and sown. Yeah, I thought there might be. I just got confused in the moment. Trying to figure out what he meant by that. Because my brain wanted to say shown in your art. But he did actually mean sewn into your art. So it wasn't... I don't believe it's a spelling or grammar issue. Sow seeds and sow fibers. Yeah. No, he meant that. I tripped on it when I first read it because my brain changed it to something else that I assumed it was going to be. And it wasn't. Soma, the worst fate ever in a horror game. Ooh. A 2.5 hour essay on Soma. Someone likes Soma. I'll probably end up agreeing with him. I like that game. Where's this other link? Oh my god. Da, 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 bit, bit, bit. What the fuck? Oh, how I animated a Starbomb music video. Oh, it's this song. With the awesome instrumental. I still can't get this instrumental out of my head. This is filthy.
Hey guys, it's me, Shiglu. Hi, sorry. Hey, so after 5 years, Starbomb is back, and I got to animate their newest music video. This is the behind-the-scenes video for that music video, for their song, Nintendo Online's greatest announcement.
You know what would be the most fun part of animating this video? When he gets to make the graphics for all the fake games on the screen.
So I'm going to show you how I came up with all the ideas for this.
That'd be heaps entertaining.
Everything else. So yeah, this will be like a fast, fun facts kind of video. Nintendo.
I want to see how he did the rotoscoping of Aaron in that boop boop a doop a doop part where he's making the sounds with his mouth.
Direct style. So here we go.
Because it looks like he drew over Aaron actually dancing.
350 hours on this video. That's my first fact. It took a long ass time. This video contains lots of references to the Whisper song by the Yin Yang Twins, like Aaron whispering directly into the woman's ear, and the outfit Stan and Aaron are wearing. I was originally going to have this as the cover art for the song, but it got rejected since Ninja Brian apparently canonically never closes his eyes. So I made another one with his eyes open, which got rejected ultimately because it never happens in the video. Bummer.
I do like that thumbnail better.
Say this looks like a Smiling Friends animation. I worked as a storyboard director and an animation director on Smiling Friends, so that's probably why. I designed the woman in this video, Kiara, a few years ago when Aaron asked me to design characters for his pilot, Happy Land Incorporated, which I didn't
never knew we had a
end up
pilot.
doing, but I had already drawn some ideas for it, and
That's
I
pretty
liked
cool.
this design but never got to use it, so I did here. In my original storyboards during the ninja fight scene, I literally wrote, "Pretend this is really epic," and genuinely considered leaving it in the final product because I thought it was funny. This
It is pretty
actually
funny.
isn't the first Starbomb song I've animated. I tried making an unofficial Starbomb video for Minecraft is for Everyone in 2014, but I never finished it. And that's probably a good thing, because it most likely would have looked something like this. I was young. The Dan that flies out of the window is actually the Daniken, which is
Yeah, I
the
saw that.
puppet they use in the
People
NSP
talked about it in the
videos
comments,
when
actually.
Dan has to do a dangerous stunt, like falling off a cliff or getting hit by a car.
I've seen that Dan mannequin in so
These
many
are all the
Ninja
gifts
Sex
that I
Party
used to
videos.
rotoscope all the dancing sequences during the instrumental sections.
Yes.
For the poses during the fight scene, I referenced this video that I found on YouTube. I'll link it in the description. I animated all the pixel art in A-Sprite, but I had never actually done pixel animation before this.
Oh, he did it
The only
legit.
pixel art I
That's
ever
awesome.
did was in Microsoft Excel, and maybe if you count bead art. This video originally had 3 different color schemes. I kept asking my colorist Dan, who's at Shuppy on Twitter, to help me make new color schemes. And it would take me ages to change to the new one since I had already started coloring each time with the new colors. So for the games, Squimble 2 is based off Kablooey, which is an actual game that's on Nintendo Online.
Oh my god.
Look at this game.
That looks like the kind of game you find in a cereal box.
Also, I have some concept sketches here. Ronnie's Barnyard Tussle is based on Pit Fighter.
Yes. I want to play this on stream. Pit Fighter night. Pit Fighter stream
And
night.
The starting screen is
12-hour
based on
stream.
Punch-Out. Here's some more concept sketches. Shave the Cat is actually not based on a game. It's actually based on this. Pillow Fight Simulator was at some point going to be about a pillow with arms and legs, but I thought it would be funnier to just have a huge arm come out and punch children. Banana Bazaar is a semi-reference to the video Whose Toes Are Those?, which is one of my favorite videos here.
Whose toes are those? Who's that great ape right there?
And he like turns to the screen like an Oblivion character.
Oh, he does too. Elder Scrolls conversations are so iconic. The way the NPCs like turn and stare directly at you.
I just love the way he freaks the fuck out at this. Also, at the end of the extended version, he reaches out of the screen to grab the player. Mattel's Barbie's Adventures in Toledo, Ohio actually has an extended version as well, where she flies home in a plane at the end. Also, apparently
That's such
Carl's
a
Jr. is
Commodore
called
game.
Parties in Ohio.
That looks like Oregon Trail.
Also, this is based
graphics.
on Barbie from the Commodore 64. Diarrhea Warrior is kind of obviously based on Castlevania. In the extended version, he gets different power-ups that changes his shit. So the ice cream makes him have liquid shit, and the spicy wing gives him rocket fire shit. Cuck Hunt
I like that we
is
get to
based
see
on
the
Duck Hunt,
extendeds in this.
and has the flash sensor, which CRTs use to see if you are aiming in the right spot. You can see it for like a few frames here. Mecha Lawyer
Cool.
is just Gundam Ace Attorney. I
Hell
specifically
yeah.
used reference of a Gundam that I had to draw these.
Fuck yeah.
And if you don't know, it's
I want that
Venus
as an
Ray
actual
and
game.
Godot. The video game version of I Saw the Sign is one of the ones I was like, how am I going to make a game out of this? So the background has like pixelated version of the actual music video.
Yes.
And then
That's the
she's
first thing I
picking up the
noticed.
sign at the end. And
What
in
is the sign?
storyboards, There is a reference to PetsCon.
I saw
so
the
if you know
sign.
what that is, then that's kind of cool.
With the
Super
penis?
Plurm, is a weird one because that game just existed already. I don't know why they included it. because everyone already knows about Super Plurm, and like it's pretty well liked. So I'm
Wait,
not
are you
sure
serious?
I understand it. Also, I specifically asked Aaron for live action footage of his mouth for the parts that he says Plurm. So that's Aaron's actual mouth of that part.
Gross.
Toad's alimony is
The
just
worst
Super
kind of
Mario
ASMR.
Brothers 2, but at the end I had Toad lying and like questioning his life choices in bed, which is a reference to the ending of Mario Brothers 2, where Mario is sleeping in bed. Mario Teaches Wiping is a parody of Mario Teaches Typing. The drawing of Mario that I had in the video is verbatim just an exact copy of a sketch that I drew on paper for this. Yoshi's Tax Shelter is based on Yoshi's Cookie, except he's filling out a 1040. You can see he's filling out his name and address before he gets carried off.
Actual
cool part about
pixelated
this one
1040.
is that for the part where they're showing the manual, I literally used this image deep fryer to make the frames of Aaron look like they were printed by the world's shittiest, worst printer. Russian Surrender was originally going to be Putin looking depressed at a bar with a bear comforting him. Because originally the punchline for Toad's Alimony was going to be Toad at a bar, so it would have been like a callback joke. But I changed the end of Toad's Alimony to be a reference to Super Mario Brothers 2. So instead, for Russian Surrender, I just did Tetris and had the Kremlin being nuked in the background. So for Squark,
Nice.
I had to write an
Yeah,
entire
Squark.
fake Wikipedia article, which I actually based off the Mario Wiki.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna
Next
put it
next
here
level
on
effort
it
put
so
into
you can
this.
read it. The design of the goofy-looking yellow dude at the end with the acorn actually came from a doodle my roommate made. I was watching him draw and thought that character would be great to put in the video because he kind of looked like a shitty off-brand Pac-Man. So I asked him if I could use it, and we basically agreed that I could if I paid him $3 for it. But also, I used the text tool at the end to animate Aaron, which is the only time I've ever used text to animate. So that was pretty cool. So
Oh, it
this
actually
fun
like
fact is more of, like, a
moves the
cool
text
story.
around it.
The day after I finished
That was
the music
cool.
video, I went to a twerp concert where Brian, aka Trey Magnifique, was performing, and he was very funny. There was one part where he asked a volunteer to come up on stage, and he called this woman up to basically to teach her how to dance like a jazz musician, except he only told her to stand still, and then he started playing, and then he proceeded to play his saxophone directly into her ear for an entire song. Anyway, after the show, Brian was signing autographs.
A lot of extra
and so I
information we
waited
didn't
in
need, but that
line,
was hilarious.
And I got to meet him, and basically I told him who I was and that I just made the next music video for Starbomb. And he was like, no way! And that was pretty cool because it was like I was fanboying and he was excited to see the video. We even elbow bumped. I know, so cool. So, that's pretty much all the fun facts I have for this video. Thank you, Starbomb, for letting me animate this crazy video, and thank you, viewer, for watching. If you like the Starbomb video,
I love it
you'll
how he's
probably like this
putting in the
Mario
bare
rap
minimum
video
of
that my
animation
friend and I made. I even wrapped
effort
this Toad in it.
into this video in
I'll
particular
link
because it
that
doesn't
and
really
the
matter.
Starbomb song at the end. Go stream farm them both. Just have them on
It's
loop.
just like single frames that
Thanks.
change occasionally.
Bye.
Listen up, girl, I know you a Nintendo fan. Gotta switch day one so you can hold it in your hand. Sync that Wi-Fi, know you got the speedy broadband. So you can download retro games from US and Japan. But don't tell no one I got the secret straight from my dad. And they'll get mad at my dad if they know he's been bad. So listen close and remember all the news that I got for the retro game drop. That's right, for Nintendo Online's drop. We got Game Squimble 2. It's the sequel to Squimble. Classic Mario and Zelda would just be too simple. Honey Barnyard Double was an all-time fave. Also Shave, the Cat, and Adventures of Dave.
It's just such a good song. You could see the extended versions of some of these, like in the storyboards. I have seen that skeleton dancing animation before somewhere. Probably many times. But I didn't make the connection that was rotoscoped for Aaron's dance there. Was he joking about Plum being real? I couldn't tell if that was a bit or not. I don't want to believe that Plum actually exists. Like the joke is that it's real. Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. I wasn't actually planning to watch the entire storyboard because it's just the whole song again. But like, I just want to now. It's a good song. Man, how long did it say that this took him? 340 something hours? God damn, man. Animators have to put so much time and effort into making, like, just 2 to 3 minutes worth of anything. And then we watch it for 2 minutes and go, yeah, cool, and we go on to the next thing. It almost doesn't seem worth it. We're not worthy. None of us are worthy of this quality. 356 hours and 9 minutes. That was it. Rad. Definitely learning the different art styles. Yeah, there's a lot of different things you had to do to make that work. Like that one bit where he's animating an ASCII text on that Wikipedia page. Because as you change the animation of the ASCII text, it's actually shifting all the other words around, so he has to do it for real. On a real, like, ASCII thing. And some of the other animation styles, like the retro Nintendo pixel art that he actually animated with real pixel animation programs. So it was actually legit. A lot of good shit. Lot of good shit. Doop 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 doop. And doop boop doop doop.
My name is Schlatt, and I made a Christmas album.
Hey, Schlatt.
No, it's not a joke. There's no clickbait. I actually...
Wait, didn't he already do this? 18 hours ago. I thought he did this already once before.
We did it, a full-length studio album, and it drops tonight. So let's talk about it. Why? That's probably
1999 Christmas.
Very valid question. You know, I feel like
it was a
every
single.
Day, a new TikToker or YouTuber or Viner's trying to
That's
make
fair.
music. Everyone wants to be in the big leagues, you know, to become an actual star, an artist. Problem is, when you get famous from doing The Renegade, you don't automatically get good at singing. And
Wait.
that's especially the case.
Is he actually famous for doing that? Is that where he got all his views from that made him
If you got
an
famous
influencer?
doing Minecraft, like me and others. The difference is I never wanted to become a singer, right? I put out a cover of My Way last year because I thought it'd be funny if I sung better than all the AI versions of me doing it. And then I got 10 million views and blocked worldwide by Universal because it was too good. Actually, they blocked it because I violated their copyright on it. But that's basically the same thing, right? Thing is, people...
Wait, what copyright did he violate? If it's his own singing, and he made the instrumental himself, you're allowed to cover a song, right? Like if it's under cover or parody. Actually, I'm not entirely sure. I think parody, yes, that has a legal protection, but I think cover doesn't. Like if you're just doing your own version of someone's song, and it's monetized, I think that needs permission. Like other artists, like if you see fucking Justin Bieber do his own version of someone's song, it's like he paid them to be able to do that. or they're getting royalties in it. They're pretty harsh on it for Sinatra.
Actually,
And
like
fuck Sinatra, he dead.
my voice on
We have a better Sinatra now. His name is Seth MacFarlane.
and I thought that was just kind of funny. Again, I'm not trying to be a singer. I have zero aspiration for anything outside of
You can tell Schlatt would be good at Sinatra just from hearing him talk. You can hear it in his voice already. Like, you can hear it in there.
want to be on the big stage on the silver
That's
screen.
exactly his
This
range.
means nothing to me. And so when I put that cover out, and then all of a sudden you guys started asking
But you still have
for
to,
a
okay,
Christmas
you still have to figure out how to do it though. Like, if you're not, even if your voice can do something, if you're not a trained singer, it's still difficult. Like, when I've tried to do stuff like that, even if I can nail the sound of a style of singing or a sound of a voice, I can't just do it end to end, like the way a professional could do it on stage live. Like, I have to cut it up into like a line or a couple of lines at a time and do them a couple of times over to get them perfect, and then do like another part separately and just work really hard on getting that one bit to sound perfect and professional as possible, exactly as I intended, and then move on to working on different, like, it's a fucking ordeal.
I knew it was time to dedicate an entire year and hundreds of thousands of dollars into making it happen. Because if people liked it, that would be fucking hilarious. And it turns out the joke was a little bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be. So, in no uncertain terms, here is everything you need to know about making a studio Christmas album. But first, please allow me to make some money back. Today's video is sponsored by World of Warships, baby! World of Warships
Wow, that was
is a game that puts you at the helm of a
we really
massive
launched into that
naval fleet,
advertising
featuring
sequence.
some of history's most iconic war vessels, with its amazing graphics, historic,
Hey, Worf.
and the notorious Borg Queen for
Oh,
free
God.
by using one of their codes on sign up. You not only get the respective commander of your choice, but also
You can unlock
200
Star
doubloons,
Trek
1
characters
million
as
credits,
warships
7 days
commanders?
of
That's
premium
so
account,
random.
More exclusive content. Once again, you get World of Warships for sponsoring today's video, and enjoy. Step 1 to making a Christmas album, pick the vibe you want. Anytime
Bublé.
Michael Bubble comes
There he
up
is.
on the, and that's what I call him, Michael Bubble. I don't think he's sophisticated enough for Bublé. Anytime he comes
I think
on,
he is.
I want to beat
I've
my
seen him
nutsack
live,
into a
on
bloody
stage.
pulp. I hate modern Christmas music. I really do. Even Mariah Carey. I cannot stand it when she comes on. I'm turning that shit off. I care about the classics, baby. That's
You
all
know
I'm
what?
in it.
As much as everybody memes on that Mariah Carey Christmas song, it is a fucking bop though. Like, it's actually catchy as hell. I don't hate it at all. I don't mind playing along with the meme and pretending to hate it, but I actually kind of think it's cool.
And so the vibe I wanted was strictly old school. We're
Gets
talking
the balls
Sinatra,
tingling.
We're talking Andy Williams. We're talking Dean Martin, baby. That's what I'm about. The way God intended for Christmas music to sound. Step 2, pick the songs you want to do. I started with around 10 of my favorites, and then I narrowed it down to about 8. Put my favorite versions in a Spotify playlist, and that's basically all I listened to the entire year. I wanted to learn all the intricacies of these songs, all the things I liked, all the things I didn't like, and all the things I wanted to do different. Step 3, make the music. The last time I uploaded a cover of a song, I just ripped the instrumental straight from the source. It was the exact same instrumental that Frank sung.
That's probably where the copyright problem came from.
And as it turns out, you can't just do that. And it turns out you can't just hire new musicians to re-record the same sheet music either, because it's all copyrighted, and it's always copyrighted. Someone owns the rights.
Can't you just
the
change a couple of
entire
notes?
way up the food chain, okay? First, you need to buy licenses to use the melody, and then you need to hire an arranger, who's basically someone who puts together an entirely new composition for the song and all the instruments. And for this, we got Tom Scott, a famous composer and saxophonist from the Blues Brothers, who is cursed with having a very, very generic name. No, you idiots.
Tom Scott?
Scott, the YouTuber, did not quit YouTube to fucking compose my Christmas album. Are you stupid? So we got him to compose entirely new sheet music for all 8 songs.
Oh, wow.
There is a lot of it. Step 4, play
Maybe
the
my
music.
idea
I
of
cannot
releasing
play
my own
a
Christmas
single
album,
instrument.
maybe we'll skip that.
So we had to hire a bunch of musicians to
I don't
come
think I can
and
afford
sight
this.
read the music for a few hours. This was the first time any of them had ever seen it. They sat down and they played it perfectly the first go. It was insane to see. And finally, step 5 is to sing. Yeah, this was the most difficult part for me. Mostly because I can't sing. I don't know how. And so to prepare for this monumental occasion, I started hiring people. I said, how much money can I throw at it until I can sound okay, right? I started taking lessons with a music, like a vocal coach.
Wait,
These
neither
guys
of them were
worked
him.
with the top of the top. I'm talking
Was he meant to be the black
Billie
guy?
Eilish, all the people you know, right? Same person coaching me, baby. They had me.
Did he have a
blowing
black
bubbles
stunt
in a
double for the
to the melody
vocal
of White
training?
Christmas. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, but I'll give it to him. By the time we were done, it sounded pretty good, and so it was time to actually do the thing. I recorded the entire album at the Sound Factory in Hollywood, California. Yes, Los Angeles, my least favorite place in the world. I was there for an entire week. I'd walk out my hotel, walk one block.
Why does he
down
hate
to
Los
Sound
Angeles
Factory,
so much?
and
I wonder if there's a
somehow-
story behind that.
Somehow, on this one block walk,
I'd like to
I would
visit Los
always run
Angeles.
into a crazy fucking homeless person who tried to stab me all the time, fucking yelling shit to me. You think I really needed that? No. I did it for you. You know, it's funny. I don't know how LA somehow managed to gather the most talented people in the world in the actual shitty city. It'd be so easy if I lived here, but it's not. And so we have to work the fucking graveyard shift for a week.
Man, if you lived in the rich part of LA, it'd probably be awesome.
They've seen the likes of Dolly Parton, the Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye, Doja Cat, SZA, Dua Lipa, whoever the fuck.
Doja
Animal was
Cat.
in the exact same room as them recording
Is
these
that the room
songs.
where she
The
recorded
microphone I sung
Bitch, I'm a
into
Cow?
was the exact same model Frank Sinatra did with his time at Capitol Records. The Telefunken U47. This microphone is tens of thousands of dollars new. I don't even want
Have
to know what this
yourself
cost. It's from the 50s.
a
And I
merry
stood up
little
there in front of the mic for a week straight, and what can I
Let
say? I
your
tried my
heart
best. I had a sound engineer on the other end of the booth. His
be
name was Davide. He was some Italian dude who rolled his own cigarettes and was
Somewhere
brutally honest with
there's
me, which is, I think, what you need.
some
You
trouble
know?
that
This is
be
what
out
this is what the average
of
day
sight.
looked like.
No, he's going for it.
Schlatt, I think that was shit. Yeah, no, I do too.
I would find that kind of embarrassing to be in a studio like this with people waiting on you to get shit right.
Hell on earth. It really has been, but a very cool experience, you know. I'm glad I did it. Would I do it again? No. And step 6 to making a Christmas album, or any album, is you gotta drink. I know what you're thinking. You're getting drunk in the booth? Really? Okay.
I mean, that sounds about
They
right.
all do.
Sinatra and all them were
second of
pretty,
all, we're talking
pretty
about
sauced up
alcohol, baby.
most of
We're
the
talking
time.
about that throat coat.
The Rat
no,
Pack.
Actually, throat coat is what it's called. It's actually called that. It's an herbal tea. You mix it in a nice hot little mug with some honey.
Ooh.
You squirt some honey in. You put it down the
I wanna
hatch,
try it.
and you are good to go. And boy, was I fucking drinking that shit. Going from never having sung in my life to doing 50 plus hours in a week. Let me tell you, not so friendly on the pipes. Okay. There were
Yeah,
some
that would
days
get
where I
gravelly
barely
quickly.
made any progress at all because of
That's actually not a bad idea, depending on the style you're going for, though. There was this one time where I was out with my girlfriend and a bunch of her friends on the town, like going between bars and clubs and all that kind of stuff. There was a lot of talking to people in clubs where you can't hear shit. So everyone's talking really loudly to be heard over the music. And when you spend an entire night doing that, and you end up back at home, everyone's like lying around the floor on the couches just chilling, and you're still talking to people, but like now your voice has this raspy, gravelly kind of punk growl to it because it's all fucked up from talking like loudly and boisterously with your chest all night just to be heard. And I remember like one of my friends saying that like I sounded randomly really sexy for some reason, like something about my voice being all like gravelly and fucked up. It had like this like sexy punk rock kind of vibe to it. And it occurred to me that like it wouldn't actually be a bad idea to purposely raw out your voice, you know, go out with friends to the clubs for the night, and then specifically come back home and record like some gritty punk rock album shit. You know what I mean? When your voice is... Because I remember hearing myself in my head and being like, I actually genuinely sound like a different person. Like I wasn't recognizing my own voice coming out of my mouth. And I found that was like really bizarre. But it didn't occur to me at first until someone said it that like not only was it different, it sounded actually kind of cool. So I've always thought like if I could force that to... But I mean, that would be like damaging your vocal cords making them raw on purpose just to capture a pretty unique sound, and I don't think it's probably not a good thing to do. Maybe once or twice, if you have a good reason to. I should write some punk rock.
Just how strained it was.
Some like real Nirvana vibe shit. Post-apocalyptic rant. Well, I wouldn't say apocalyptic. More like post-rock. That's why I keep bringing up punk. It kind of had that like rawness to it, that grit. That was like, this is kind of cool actually. I wish I had like an instrumental good to go. Record some like anti-establishment shit right now. People won't even know it's me. I can do it under pseudonym.
I'm telling you, one sip of that throat coat and the pain just melts right away. It's phenomenal. It tastes so good.
Rage
too.
Against the
I'm
Kachu.
like, I drink it now just because. By far my second favorite type of throat coat. And step 7.
Ew,
let the
that was a cum
engineers
joke,
do
wasn't
their
it?
Thing, baby. We're talking
And he
tuning,
just
we're
caught
talking
that.
mixing, mastering, all the bells and whistles, that last coat of polish on everything to make it sound good. Oh, dude, these tracks swapped hands with so many insanely talented people to make them sound as good as they do. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking proud of it. I'm proud, I am. This Christmas album is by no means
I wish
perfect, and
I
it's
knew
limited
more about what goes
entirely from my own
into
inexperience
audio
doing
mixing.
this kind of thing. But it is my real,
I've got everything here that
genuine
I can do
attempt
it
at
myself,
doing
but I just don't have
something
enough
and
of
I
the
hope that it
knowledge.
can bring a little bit of Christmas cheer into your life and for years to come. You know, what started as a joke spiraled into something I could never even imagine. And I'm very pleased to announce that a very 1999 Christmas
Good
is
cover.
coming out tonight. The whole album's going
That
to
looks like you could have easily made that cover with AI though.
premiere live on this YouTube
Quick AI
channel
filter.
at midnight, and it's going to be on all your favorite audio platforms shortly after, and all the individual songs
Has that come
are
out
going up
yet?
on my second
I'll be
channel,
curious to
Swag
see
Band.
how much
So
he makes from that.
Stay tuned for it, and if you want to,
I mean, he has to at least make back the money that he wasted on getting it made.
special way to listen to these songs. You can buy it on vinyl, baby. That's right. We pressed a very
Ooh, vinyl.
tiny amount of vinyls for you all, for all you audiophiles. What a terrible thing to call yourself. But for anyone who wants a vinyl, you can get one now at the link in the description. They just went on sale, and there are not many. Please, do not miss this opportunity, okay? This is the only time we're doing it. Buy it for yourself. Buy it for a friend, buy it for a loved one, or buy them for everyone you know. Because holy shit, this was fucking expensive, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I
and
thought.
Merry Christmas.
I hope he makes all that back and then profits as well for his effort. I haven't heard his album yet, but I bet it's good. Thank you, Schlatt. Sinatra would be confused but impressed. I showed your album to my grandpa and he died of a heart attack. I think it's because your voice is so good. He says I can't sing, but then rolls out the most beautiful sound I've ever heard since Frank Sinatra. So happy for Schlongus Prime in his music career. Schlongus Prime is a good name. Neat. Happy for him. Actual good YouTube influencers making actual good content. Wholesome content. Marvel and Capcom, don't get distracted. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I bet you would do. I was going to say, because we were talking about, before you leave, you know, we were talking earlier about the Lilo and Stitch live action stuff, right? Did you see that How to Train Your Dragon just dropped a live action teaser for its live action adaptation, which I actually either didn't know was happening or had completely forgotten. And I'm a little confused by it because those 3 movies, there's 3, right? It's a trilogy. They came out not that long ago. It seems very early and very random to make a live action out of that. But also, is there a point? Because all the dragons are CG nonetheless, so they wouldn't really look that different. Slightly more, only know how to train the bad dragon. The dildo. How do you train a dildo? Hang on, how long is this teaser? 60 seconds. All right. Well, a typical teaser probably not going to show much. You know how this teaser succeeds? Same as Lilo and Stitch. All you got to do is show the dragon. If the dragon looks legit, I think most people will be on board. Because everyone else is just going to be like regular humans, yeah? So whatever. People are kind of negative in the comments. Not gonna front. How to monetize your dragon franchise. Toothless looks the same. Okay, good. People are into the dragon. Hollywood has forgotten creativity. Yeah, this is where the negativity starts. I do think it's kind of random to like want to suddenly make a live action movie out of this, but it doesn't mean it's inherently going to be bad. Just maybe a little redundant. Because it'll be the same movie, just with a different coat of paint. Yeah, see, this person's saying the same thing. I'm torn on this. It's shot for shot with the original, but then what's the point? It's a good point, actually. It's kind of like with the Lion King thing. If it's a shot for shot remake, then what's the point? Especially if the change in the art style is actually making the emotion less. Like Lion King suffered from that. But in this case, you wouldn't have that problem because the live action humans could potentially bring more emotion to the roles. You just have to still nail the dragons, which should be easy because you already nailed the dragons in the animated version and they're still animated now, technically. Alright. We'll watch it real quick. Looks legit.
When you carry this axe,
Is that Gerard Butler? Oh, fuck, it is.
carry all of us with you.
Wait, Gerard Butler was the voice of the dad. Oh my god. The main kid is, for some reason, hilarious looking. He looks like, it looks like someone took a Chad and tried to make him look more like a dork. With like messiness of his hair on the sides. But there's something about his jaw and his neck that is more Chad construction. Yeah, Gerard Butler was the voice of the dad in the cartoon, and now he's just playing the live-action version.
But you will.
I'm a Viking. I'm a Viking.
Come on, show Toothless. That's all that matters. He's adorable. He's like a little gecko. It does seem pretty shot for shot so far.
I won't hurt you.
And the dragon looks exactly the same. Yeah, that's exactly the same. The animated film was basically just a storyboard for this. Toothless is still really cute though. He was always a really good character design. I still have that Nintendo rap stuck in my head. God damn it. The actor that plays Toothless really captured his sass. Ah, funny. Hiccup has such a specific voice. I'm sad it's not his original voice actor. Oh, wasn't that, oh my god, wasn't it? Holy shit, wait. The actor that plays Hiccup in the cartoon was Seth Rogen's friend, the one with the really annoying voice. The little dude. He was in that Sorcerer's Apprentice movie. I don't know if I... Wait, he's a grown man. He can't play a teenager. What the fuck? Jay Baruchel. That was it. Yeah, Jay Baruchel has outgrown the role, unfortunately. He couldn't do it in live action. That wouldn't make sense. But they're not wrong about him having a very unique, iconic voice. I mean, nobody sounds like Jay Baruchel. But this is the kind of thing you have to get over. Like, you can't dub Jay Baruchel's voice into another live-action actor. Like, that would be stupid. I did see some of the usual suspects. The Twitter pop culture grifters, the toxic rage baiters. I saw them on Twitter raging about the fact that the actress playing Astrid, the female love interest to Hiccup, has gone from like a blonde hair, blue-eyed white girl to like a brown skin with dreads. Not quite black girl. Yeah, hang on. I saw some info saying that she's not actually technically black. She looks like she is. But apparently she's like 70% white if you look at her family and ancestry stuff. It's her. So she's okay, so in as far as this photo is concerned, she's a black girl, right? And that's what they're mad about. She's pretty white in this movie, though. Look at her skin is like the same color. What the fuck? Oh yeah, she looks almost as white as that kid, as the main male lead. I mean, not that it matters, but they're just mad because like the actual character is like really white, like blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Aryan white Viking chick. And even though this girl is apparently like only 20 to 30% black in her genes or whatever the fucking numbering was I saw them talking about, apparently it's still too black for some people. And now the movie's apparently woke. Have a cry. I think she looks pretty Viking. Honestly, I don't like Astrid's design in the cartoon. I think she looks freaky, man. She looks like one of those like those robot dolls that they make they make for real, that people worry about getting Skynet AI and then killing you in your sleep. I think Astrid looks like a badass, the live action version. People have to remember that these are versions. Like when you adapt something, you're making your own unique take on it. Everything doesn't have to be one for one. I mean, Hiccup has got the hairstyle, but like I said, he looks less like a dork and more like a Chad pretending to be a dork. And he's not going to have the really dorky Jay Baruchel voice to sell it either. Yeah, I think she's really pretty. No issues there. Cool armor. I never saw the sequels. I didn't see 1 and 2 and 3. Only saw the first one. Anyway, whatever. Drama gonna drama. That's what people do. Will they get over it? Who knows? Maybe someday. When the movie comes out and it's not a hot button topic anymore, it'll get them clicks. We'll stop hearing about it. And then the people who, the normal people, will just go out and watch the damn movie and enjoy it for what it is. Alright. We've dragged this on long enough. We'll do Ghouls for Games showcase and then call it a night. It's time. Oh, this is run by the Dames for Games group that have done showcases in the past. They just changed the name in a cute way for Halloween. That's cool. Alright. Can't believe I put this off for like 3 weeks. This is a showcase that came out for Halloween, and we're now on the tail end of November, about to hit December. Ghouls for Games is starting soon. There's a little astronaut cat and a cold drink.
Welcome to our showcase. It is usually Dames for Games, but because we're in the Halloween season and we're getting those spooky vibes,
that green screen is only just barely hanging in there.
Games.
Probably because she's using a basic webcam.
Destiny, and I am the founder of Dames for Games, and I'm super excited
Needs some
to be
saturation
here and to
too.
share all these spectacular spotlights that we have lined up, plus some really creepy exclusive trailers. But before we get into it, I'm gonna throw it over to my co-ghost, so she can introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. I am
Hello.
Diana, and I am so excited to be here. It's going to be scary. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun, and we're going to have a really great time. I'm
Yeah,
really
yo.
excited. Let's do
I
it.
feel like we always have a great time, don't we?
Honestly, we
I feel
always
like
have
we
a really great
do.
time. Yeah.
So, I have a few people I need to thank before we jump right into it. And these are people who have helped us and continue to help us uplift marginalized voices. And it's been an incredible ride. We started back last year and we're still going and we're going to keep going. But IGN, GameSpot, Twitch, you guys are beautiful. Thank you so much for
Beautiful.
helping
I get
us.
it.
And also to our partners, The Mix and the 1000
Halloween
Dreams
puns.
Fund.
Yay.
Guys, we have some incredible news that we're going to share with you towards the end of the showcase. And I
With
want you
cured
to
cancer.
stay tuned. For all those developers, those content creators.
Also, cool games
I think
coming.
you're going to want to hear about this. So let me not keep you.
Is this one of those showcases
Let's
that...
get started, and I hope you enjoy this spooky show.
Is this one of those showcases that is mostly just developer interviews instead of trailers? Because the trailer ones are good because they keep it popping, right? But the ones which are all just developer interviews, they drag a bit.
I'm Sarah Doby. I'm a senior programmer at Pickpock. I'm on a project called Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days. It's a survival horror zombie game. I've been on that project for about 3 years now. So I've
I think we're going to see some crossover with the indie horror showcase I watched recently.
I've had a focus on zombie behavior, and that's all done with behavior trees and state machines. So I make the tools for that, and I help design to set up those behaviors to get the results that they're after. The zombies in Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days are supposed to feel quite human, got the kind of lowest level where they're sensing things, they're hearing and seeing and being punched by the player, and then they take that information and process it and organize it, and they use that to then make decisions and act, and that's what the player sees, where they, you know, punch you back.
I'm Shalu. I am an environment artist for Into the
Shalu
Dead
is
of
a very
Darkest
interesting looking
Days.
human
so
being.
The thing I like the most
She actually looks
about
like a
my
video
job
game
and
character.
brings me the most satisfaction is definitely creating a very good-looking environment that's not only visually pleasing but also has a lot of hints for like
I think this game
stories
looks
and
cool.
has a lot of opportunities.
But I
in
like
there for the
games
player
that
to
do
kind of discover
unique
what
gameplay
has happened
genres and
this
like the
place.
2D
My name is Celia.
viewpoint.
I'm a market researcher at Pickpock. I'm helping game teams
Is there a
understand
company
who
called
their target
Pickpock?
audience is. With no
Like
means experience
pickpocket
design,
without the
you're
E and the
trying
T?
to make a smooth experience as possible. But with game design, obviously, you're trying to develop problems for people to solve. What we found when we did the market research for Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days, was they really cared about having consequences for their actions. That was a theme that came up again and again when we talked to those people that played survival type titles.
I think I always hoped to work in games. I don't think I always realized that it was a possibility.
Is this entire dev, female dev?
As being able to work in the industry, it never looked like a place
They've got interviews with quite a few of the
definitely feel like there's a need for more
the
women
staff
artists to be
on
out
this
there
dev, but they're
working
all
across
ladies so far.
different genre of games,
Although Ghouls for Games is a
different themes
offshoot of Dames
games.
for Games,
I
so they
like to
probably
think
are
that
specifically
just
highlighting
being a senior
the
woman
females in the industry.
programmer can make
Even with the Halloween
more
version of the
junior
show.
women programmers just feel more comfortable and like they belong. I really hope that Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days will do fabulously, and I'm sure it will. That will just feel amazing to know that I was there from, you know, the prototyping phase,
Just ran
building
right
it
past
up,
that zombie.
making it beautiful, and then be there when it takes its first steps into the world.
They got a good combo of staff as well. The girl that does the programming for the AI, the girl that does the environmental art design.
Hi, I'm Miko Sherbino, the
All the
studio
different
lead at Pretty
parts of
Smart
the
Games,
project.
and I'm delighted to introduce
All the
you to some
pieces.
of the team behind the Spirit Lift, a ghost punk deck building roguelike adventure. Hi,
Ghost
I'm Audrey
punk.
Twig. I'm the UI UX
Cool genre.
designer and art lead on the Spirit Lift.
Hi, I'm Ryako, the audio lead on the Spirit Lift.
Spirit Lift is one of those
My name
old
is
school
Allison Kelly, and I do
first-person games
creature
where you
and
move on a
concept
grid.
art for the Spirit Lift. My name is Leah
Like
Kranz,
back, forward,
and I'm
left,
the
and right.
3D artist.
The Spirit Lift is about a group
Which
of
means it's gonna be
teenagers
turn-based
in
combat.
the 90s who decide to ditch their graduation party.
Encountering an old gilded elevator, aka the Spirit Lift. They battle their way up to the 13th floor only
Yeah,
with
they're
the
definitely
items they would
focusing
have in
on-
their
on
backpack
female
or
devs.
weird things they find along the way. Encountering otherworldly creatures. And maybe, if they're lucky, I could possibly learn the truth of what's going on in this old haunted hotel.
We designed the game to be easy to learn but challenging to master. You'll die often, but each time you'll learn new strategies and more secrets behind the hotel's mysteries.
So this game is kind of like my passion project. I'm able to explore and do fun, weird things with the UI that I wouldn't normally do.
I get to explore a lot of different roles, like not only 3D art, but also level design, lighting, VFX, and tech art.
Everyone brings such passion and creativity to this project that it really inspires me to push all of my designs to the next level.
I get to work with
It's a
such
pretty cool aesthetic.
a wonderful team.
It's also unique.
And collaborate with all of them to create
Very hand-drawn.
this amazing game.
You can play the demo right now on Steam or itch.io. We'd
So
love
it's
to
like
hear your
a
feedback
hotel
as we
environment
are
where you
busy
go up and down a
preparing
lift
for
to
when the
different
Spirit Lift
biomes.
launches.
A magic lift is a great way to create different environments and connect them all. Haunting of Joni Evers.
My name's Brianna Jenkins, and I'm the art director at Causeway Studios.
This was from
We're
the
currently
Indie Horror
developing
Showcase as well.
The
We saw the
Haunting
teaser.
of Joni Evers, a sometimes
3 weeks
spooky
ago.
but very heartfelt walking simulator. You spend one night in the shoes of Joni Evers as she
I like that they're being
explores her now
upfront about
mostly
the
abandoned family home.
the fact that they're
As you travel through, you'll reconcile
genuinely
with the past
their goal, their
relationships she has
their
to her
intent is to
closest
create a
family
walking
members
simulator style
and
game.
possibly try
They're
to
actually
dispel
willing to
a
call it
curse.
that.
As the art director,
I respect
I'm
that.
responsible for setting a cohesive
Because I like walking
visual
simulators,
direction
and I know a lot of
that
people
resonates
use it
well
as an
with the
insult
narrative,
when describing games they
game
don't like.
design, and overall creative direction of the game. Since we're such a small team, I also work as a lead artist on the game. So I've done work on the lighting, props, environments, and lots of things in between. Something that I love is that it's a deeply human story. Even though it's wrapped up in a shell of something mysterious, spooky, and supernatural, all along the way you get to learn more about Joni and the emotional relationship she's had with her family members. As I combined my passion for video games and art and started working as a video game artist, I realized that this is a super powerful combination for letting people view things from different perspectives and
I
developing
think she's reading a
emotional
script below the camera.
connections. Thank
Not a
you,
dig,
Games
just
for
something I
Games,
noticed.
for letting me and our
As someone that does a lot of editing and works on a lot of film crews, filming a lot of uncomfortable people, having to do little pieces to camera for corporate or commercial videos, you get very used to people's uncomfortable on-camera voice, where they're just trying to get through the script, and it's very like monotone and like I'm presenting, but I don't want to be here. So the personality and the spunk, the energy is kind of sapped from the communication. I can kind of hear that in her voice.
Our game, The Haunting of Joni Evers, be part of your showcase. And thank you for all the work you do.
You see what I mean?
in
It's very
showing the
monotone
representation
reading
of women
style
in the
of
games
speaking.
industry and helping to build equitable spaces.
And once again, that's
So,
fine.
If our game sounds interesting,
She's a game dev that's just trying to get through the bit and advertise their game. It's not her thing to be on camera. But I'm just saying, like, it's something you become very attuned to when you do the work that I do. Like, you pick it up very quickly. But it does make you better at not doing that. Like, I've had to be on camera and been a model or an actor in so many corporate and commercial videos. And because you're used to this stuff, you're used to, like, how people do it when they're not comfortable and not good at it. It's very easy to avoid that and actually know how to find the tone, know how to find the performative style. Kind of like how newsreaders have a performative style, you know what I mean? You can't just get up there and be dull. You have to be newsreader.
to you, check it out on Steam, and play the demo that we currently have available. Be prepared for some frights, and also maybe a little bit of crying.
Oh, well, good.
Hello,
Low-level
everyone. My
spooky,
name
but
is
then
Mishka
dramatic,
Kawa.
emotional,
I am a
and
producer at Monumental, a game
good.
studio known for uniquely
Like
atmospheric
that,
gaming experiences formed
Going
by
Home
people
game.
from different parts of Brazil. To tell you a little bit about our project and our studio, I'm gonna ask the help of Ana Julia, our programmer.
Whoa, look at this.
Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.
Drowned Lake is
I'm
sexy
Ana
looking.
Julia, one of the programmers at Monumental. Our first release was Telephone,
an analog horror game that has garnered over 2,000 very positive reviews on Steam. Today, we want to introduce you to our new game set in the Teleform universe, Drowned Lake.
Teleform universe?
The game is
They
not
got a whole
just
thing
about
going on.
survival. It's an immersive experience where you uncover clues, solve puzzles, and explore the world around you.
Drowned Lake is a unique combination
what?
of horror, fishing, and exploration, in
What?
which you navigate the dark waters of a lake that holds terrible secrets and
This is cool.
investigate abandoned locations in first person. In Drowned Lake, the story is
It's like they
experienced
combined
from the points
Dredge
of
with
view of three
a
different
first-person horror game like
characters. As
Visage.
they search for a missing documentarian in the coastal forests of
This is
Brazil,
neat.
they uncover a forgotten story blending folklore, social issues, and religious syncretism. Drowned Lake shifts perspectives to enhance the gameplay experience. For the exploration segments on the boat, the game utilizes a top-down perspective, giving you a broad
That's
view
so
of
cool.
the eerie lake and its surroundings. In
The atmosphere of the
contrast, when you
top-down
enter the
stuff looks
segments
great.
of adventure and
The graphics are on
investigation,
point.
The game shifts to a first-person perspective, immersing you in a more personal and intense experience. So if you enjoy horror games that take you through a moody, atmospheric experience with a rich narrative, Drowned Lake is a game you don't want to miss. I invite you to add it to your wishlist on Steam and follow us on social media for more updates.
Hi, Dames for Games. Thank you for having us.
We are.
So, this vampire walks into a bar.
I'm Jan, and I.
What an awesome name for a game.
Hi.
This
my
might be
name
a
is
visual
Eileen,
novel type
and
thing.
I was the character designer and artist.
I'm Evan, and I was the project manager.
You guys need to
and
move the
additional
mouse off the screen.
creative Contributor.
I can't stop staring at it.
And I was the background artist and developer
Oop,
on
there
the
it goes.
mixology
Alright,
portion.
they got it.
I'm Katie, and I am the prop artist.
This is So This Vampire Walks Into a Bar.
It's a cute
So
name.
This Vampire Walks Into a Bar is a visual novel with a mini
The
game
font is very
a
default
bartending
font.
mini-game, a game where the outcomes that you
A lot of
get
indie games have that
from the
problem.
story are based
The font
on
just isn't
how well you
quite.
can mix a drink for a customer.
Doesn't quite have the
its
character
core
it should.
a
They just using
story
Arial or something.
Of acceptance and finding yourself when these outer visuals are stripped away from you.
Is the story of our protagonist Jackie, who finds themselves
Jackie's very interesting
working
looking.
at a dive
Jackie looks like a
bar that
serial killer.
happens to cater to a bunch of familiar faces.
Frankie's
that
Lair
happen
is
to
the name of the bar.
resemble Universal movie monsters. Has some point-and-click adventure elements while also.
I feel like if you have a bar in a basement called Frankie's Lair, that's exactly what kind of clientele you're going to
Many
attract.
visual novels
The Universal
have very
monsters.
static systems of choices you can make where you pick option A, B, or C. But having this
It's interesting
alternate
how
element that your decisions are based
visual
on
novel games
allows you to make
coupled with
decisions that
bartending
have impacts on the game while still
mechanics
having
is
fun
like an
with the
entire genre of
decision-making
gaming.
process.
You know how many games there are now that do this?
I'm all about visual
Where
novels.
the actual gameplay
So I
mechanics
really wanted
are
to have
mixing
that-
drinks.
That strong story component
Um,
with some memorable characters. The more and more writing
Via
gets
the
done, the
actual,
more I'm really falling in love with the writing, and I really love
like
our
mechanics and recipe lists of how what kind of drinks people want.
Bar is now available on
And then the other
Steam.
50% is all visual novel dialogue stuff.
Hey, my name is Julian Valbonten, and I'm the design lead
Like
at
Coffee
Dames for
Shop is
Games.
like that.
I'm
Sorry,
also
Coffee
an art
Talk.
director and partner at Continue, a creative marketing collective that specializes in the video game and entertainment industry. The reason why gaming and video games in general is meaningful to me is because the amount of creativity and skill that's required to make a game has always been admirable to me. And game making has been a process that I've been able to observe and truly respect. I appreciate the large variety of stories that game devs and creatives are able to express through games, whether they're complicated or simple. Aside from that, it's always been a way for me to connect through communities all over the world and strengthen the friendships that I already have.
Cute. Is that going to be a regular thing throughout the showcase? Just randos talking about what they appreciate about the gaming industry or gaming culture. Oh, it's grid-based. Like Crypt of the Necrodancer, but without the music? This is definitely games like Crypt of the Necrodancer inspired. Or that one game that I played on stream. What was that called? I've completely forgotten. But yeah, you moved it on like on a tile-based grid system, and everything moved with you. So if you stood still, you could think about your movements and plan it out. Crown Trick. That's what it was called. Lord Ambermaze. The prologue. Oh, that's... Sometimes when they put prologue on the game, that just means, like, the demo, essentially. They don't call games demos anymore. They make prologues. Which is essentially like, here's the first 20 minutes of the game. And it leads into the main game. If you happen to get it. And jump across to that. Especially in the indie job simulator kind of genre. A lot of job simulators have prologues where you get to play like a piece of it, like a vertical slice. Be like train station renovator prologue, or electrician simulator prologue, that kind of stuff. I see those all the time. The Songbird Guild releasing Q2 2025. What is the Songbird Guild? Okay, they showed a trailer with no dialogue, no text, no explanation. We just saw some footage and I have no idea what that was. Everyone needs water. It's a game about how everyone's thirsty. Here you come with the water. Is that it? It's a dystopian horror game where you're the water delivery man? Pray you make it. So whoever you don't manage to deliver water to in time, something happens? There's a lot of water jug carrying in this game. And then just other people being freaks. Water delivery. I actually like it. That's pretty cool. Okay. That looked like a drone in the back rooms. It's a game about liminal spaces. Found footage-esque. Oh, okay. It's like a found footage liminal space game. Judging by the suits the characters are wearing and the fact they're using a drone RC car. It looks like a science team investigating and researching liminal spaces in a smart way. Like, I like how they have the trail sticker on the ground to get through that liminal space without getting lost.
It feels like
Very
I'm
clever.
in the crosshairs.
I like that.
Everywhere. Those bastards from the cursed house rising
Almost
into
my
our lair.
flawed duality.
They enchain souls and feed on the joy of their victims.
What the fuck?
I won't give up. I control the story unless they chain me. I can choose whether to fight, hide, or run. I still have a
Cool
choice,
accent, but
and I can change everything.
probably not a voice actor.
It's worth trying for the sake of one happy ending among many possible ones.
This is one of those situations where the dev voice acted the game themselves.
You are me. You can't hide from me. And there is no escape.
I don't really understand what that game's about. It looked 2D, but I wasn't exactly sure what the gameplay mechanics were. It didn't seem like a point and click. Inside of Never-Ending Nightmare. Old school pixels, here we go. It's you. Cool aesthetic though. Broken Soul. It's like a point and click from back in like the Legendary Larry era.
What a strong start. I hope you're all enjoying yourself so far. This next segment is a little more for the braver souls. Escape and defeat the monsters that lurk in the shadows. Or
So it's not going to be a
You'll see what I mean.
bring on different people to say
We've
what
got
they care about
exciting
gaming.
trailers
It's
and
just her
more,
saying a bunch of stuff.
including an exclusive announcement from Purple Door Studios. The official
She probably didn't
release
have
date of
anything
Magic Inn is here
specific about the
today.
showcase to say in the
Roll the
last
tape.
segment, so she just like faffed on about
Only
how
a
she
day
felt about
away
gaming
from
culture.
the inn opening.
Magic Inn.
Where are the tables?
Cool.
No worries. Still got time. On
Yes,
to my
cozy
favorite
job
part,
simulator games, love it.
shopping.
One of my faves.
Okay.
So it's a
this
tavern-
Is truly my favorite.
tavern management?
Decorating.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like the fact that you can resize everything, and also magic. Wow, they really give you full control over how to play stuff.
Well,
Surprising
it's
for a
time.
game like this.
Publish the news.
Because AI and NPC characters have to interact with that stuff, so having full control over how every little object is placed is surprising. Because then it's not easy to design a system where the AI CG characters can interact with stuff. Hope that makes sense. Is this a yaoi game? This, I'm getting vibes of homoeroticism here. These are very, very attractive, effeminate men. Will you stay a vampire? Oh, it's not a vampire game. Crimson waves on the Emerald Sea. Amaranthan moon. Oh my... Victorian vampire.
Welcome, foolish
That was the most pretentious combination of words to make a title for a game I've ever seen. But it seemed to fit what they'd made. Also, the first part of it sounded a little bit like a euphemism for periods, for menstruation. What is this? Oh, it's a Survive the Haunted House game, but with human players controlling the spooks. So an asymmetrical multiplayer. Alright. The people from top down are basically playing a tactical strategy game, and the people in first person are just surviving.
Plus, I have some bad news.
This magical girl is a bitch. Great name.
Thinking too small. Let's get him arrested.
Thank you for having voice acting.
You're never going to have any friends if you keep this up. What are you gonna do?
I think they've already made. I think there's already animes that exist about
Revenge requires
bitchy magical girl
sacrifice.
main characters.
Watch out! Don't just stand there. We have to run.
Did she eat the magic?
Exactly. Evil starts so
Wait, so
young.
if they've censored the word bitch, how are you supposed to say the name of the game? This magical girl is a beach? Is a bee titch? It's kind of like that movie I Heart Huckabees. The title is spelt I love heart emoji Huckabees. So it's like, are you supposed to say heart? Because the emoji is of a heart? But then they would just use the word heart, right? I remember back in the day there was a review of the movie on ABC's At the Movies, and David Stratton made a funny joke. It wasn't a joke, really. But he took offense to the fact that the title was being too clever for its own good. So he refused to say I Heart Huckabees because it didn't say heart, it showed a
it's me
picture of a
again.
heart.
I have
So every
been
time he said the
hitting
name of the
wish
game, the
list
movie,
button like
he would say
crazy.
I
Showcases are so dangerous.
Huckabees. He would
It's been
do
a
the
fun time together
heart
in the
shape with
chat.
his fingers.
I'm Julian Belbonton, and if you
And I
want to
always
talk about different
thought that was pretty
creative
funny.
ideas to make your game stand
I was
out
very
online,
entertained by that.
you can find me at Continue at We Are Continue on X or Insta, and for my socials at Belbonton0 on X or Insta too, because I am the 0th Belbonton. Destiny and Diana will be back with more spotlights. What's coming up next will give you a bit of a break from the horror.
We don't want to break
Just a
from the
little
horror.
one.
Horror good.
That was creepy. Like that was legitimately creepy. There were some trailers in there, like Tape 101. I could tell if like some of that looked like it was real, and I feel like we're blurring the lines here, and I feel like I'm gonna have a ghost follow me.
What's the girl on the left meant to be for Halloween?
I get that way too. If it's something too
I
scary,
can't tell
I'm
if
like,
it's meant to be a
gonna come
specific
through on
character or if
TV.
she's just like
It's true.
just gone off the reservation and
I
done
think
some original
water
creative shit.
delivery was like really creepy for me. Like, I'm definitely gonna have nightmares about that.
Like,
and
there's
I only
nothing that
watched
says
the
you can't
trailer,
just
so
develop your
good
own
job.
character for
I'm
Halloween.
scared.
Bravo to the trailer.
Come up with a combo of outfit,
pros
wig,
from
and
the
makeup
trailers.
that's
I mean,
just
like,
like
come
a
on.
unique thing, just for fun.
You're delivering.
But then you're gonna have 1,000 people at Halloween parties going, "Oh, what are you meant to be?" And then you have no answer to it. She's asking her.
Listen.
Oh my god, what a
It
weird
took
coincidence.
a lot of time to really think about how I wanted to encompass Dames for Games and like being like the top ghost. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like what it just boiled down to is like if looks could kill, I aim to slay. So you know,
Okay.
it's just
okay.
Oh, an original
it's
character,
my,
got it.
like,
Thanks for answering my question.
spooky
Good timing.
Hostess vibe. Like that's what I am. I'm a
I like
spooky
it.
hostess. Yes, I was
love
thinking
it.
Beetlejuice, and then I was thinking Monster High. And I was just putting everything together. And
I love it. I think.
Hey,
it's
it
great.
works.
what are you?
The other girl
I'm
is
a
a
little demon.
is a cat.
Just a cute little demon.
Oh, no,
just
she has
disappearing
horns.
in the background occasionally.
I thought the
think
horns
you
are cat
told- you
ears.
said that earlier, and it already slipped my mind. And I think it's just the magic and the power that you have over all of us right now.
Why, thank you.
Sure.
Why, thank you.
She got black
much
contact
like these
lenses in.
trailers have
Her
on
pupils
all
are
of
very
us
dark.
as
Yeah,
well.
no, those were scary. So listen, we want to give you guys a break, okay? Because we know that was pretty spooky, and a lot of you are like probably like really scared. So for those of you who don't
All
like
right.
to be really scared during Halloween, and you
This
just
is their
want something
excuse
kind of
to
fun
show some
play,
trailers
you wanna
and
curl
for
up
things
with
that aren't
Coco
Halloween
and
related.
Gummy bears, specifically gummy bears. We have some spotlights for you. So stay tuned and check out these spotlights. They're not scary, they're not spooky. You can uncover your eyes.
Yes.
I definitely think you'll enjoy them though.
Trust us.
Trust us.
Trust us. Trust us.
Hi, I'm Alice, and I'm a game creator and consultant specializing in horses. I've always loved horses.
All
I've
right.
been a rider all of my life, and I always paid special attention to horses in the games I played. How they moved, how they looked, what you can do with them. A few years ago, I launched The Main Quest, a website that explores how horses are
Oh, the
portrayed in
main
games
quest, spelled
through news,
M-A-N-E.
analyses,
Clever.
reviews, and developer interviews.
Like a horse
Together
mane.
with Azure Interactive
I like
from
it.
Munich, I've been working on a brand new type of horse game. In Windstorm, The Legend of Kimori,
Cool.
the player takes on the role of a courier rider in 13th century Mongolia.
Cool.
In exploring the steppes, mountains, and deserts, and delivering letters and cargo, the
It's a
player will
Mongolian
have horses
period
as a
horse
means of
simulator. I love
transport,
it.
as companions, and as a crucial gameplay element. Horses can be trained and taught, and the player can tame wild horses or breed foals.
So basically, in the most realistic way possible, nothing in this particular era of
What I
time
love
can
about
be
the game we're
accomplished
working on
without
is that it
horses.
takes some of these
Especially
elements
running a
that many of
business.
us know from the horse games we've played as kids.
I dig it.
And puts them in a new context. In doing so, we also hope to appeal to a wider audience. People who wouldn't necessarily pick up a stable simulation, but who are happy to explore a beautiful open world on horseback, with animals that have a little more depth to them than just being a fast way to get around. If that sounds like something you or someone you know would be into, please consider following Play Windstorm on socials and wishlisting the game on Steam. We cannot wait to show you more.
It's pretty sweet. I actually like that a lot. I'm no longer mad that they're not
there,
showing
and
horror
thanks for
games
having
anymore
us
and they're
at the
ghouls for...
showcase. My name is Bonnie, and I'm in charge
the
of
fuck is
social
this called
media
again?
at Roca Play.
Ghouls
We're
for
currently
Games.
working on Sugardew Island, a cozy farm shop game inspired by the charm of Nintendo DS's Harvest Moon. Paulie, our lead game
Specifically the
designer, has been a
Nintendo
fan
DS
of
version
cozy
of Harvest
games since
Moon.
childhood. With extensive
Ignoring the fact that it's been
experience
long
in the
since
genre,
long
she's
before that.
contributed to several titles, including Wild Shade and Pet Clinic, Cats and Dogs. Overall, we're a diverse team where everyone's strengths complement each other perfectly. Sugardew Island is a farming game that takes place on a mysterious island. As the player, you are stranded on the island after a storm and take over a small farm. In the past, humans, animals, and the forest folk lived in harmony on Sugardew Island, but the humans became greedy and tried to cut down the large harmony tree to claim it for themselves. As a result, the island's guardian grew thorns and the people fled the island. The player tries to restore harmony on the island by selling various goods from the farm to the forest folk in his farm store. By dealing with the forest folk, you regain their trust.
Oh, so you run a shop for
in Sugardew Island, the player should lead a relaxed
forest
life,
people.
which is why we have decided against the usual time management in other farming games and instead have daily phases that are turn-based. The player has as much time as they want in the individual phases of the day. Before the store opens, it is morning. While the store is open is midday, and when the store closes is evening. We hope that in this way we can make the game as accessible and stress-free as possible.
So they've made it
Thank
even
you
more
so much,
cozy
Games for
gaming
Games, that we could
by
be
having
part
no
of the
time limit
showcase.
on
We
the
hope you enjoyed the little
across
insight
the
into our
passage of
upcoming
time.
game, Sugardew Island. We wish
You
you
could
all the
spend as
best.
much time in the morning as you like until you decide to move on. Surprised no one else, well, I'm sure someone else has done it, but I'm surprised it's something that hasn't been done more.
I joined the studio 3
What
years
is going
ago
on below her
after
monitor?
several years as a researcher at the university.
There's a floating cup of
I
dice.
was very lucky because I immediately started to work on Retro
Holy shit, that's
Gadgets.
cool.
It was at the beginning of its development. Retro Gadgets is a game where you build and code your own gadgets, adding components.
Oh, I remember this.
buttons,
This is
LEDs,
clever.
Screens. Then you can customize the gadgets with colors and stickers. And you can basically
It's so
build
cool.
anything you like, from music synthesizer to
Oh, that's where it gets complicated.
games,
Actual
working
programming.
video games inside the Retro Gadgets. We released it 2 years ago in early access. I mean, we immediately started to have an amazing
So can you actually fill one of these gadgets with real programming to make games for real?
helping each other with the code and the quests.
This is trippy.
And then we noticed that they were starting to wonder where Retro Gadgets is set, because it has a mainly
Fake boy.
80 retro vibe.
And also, is there a point to the game? Like, is there a single-player campaign? Like, or is it just dicking around?
On the desk. And so we thought, let's create a campaign mode. We add a story. to
Oh, there we
the
go.
game.
Just answering my
And
question.
we can use it also as a tutorial for people that ask us how to learn to program enough to be able to enjoy the game. And so since then, I'm also working as
Cool.
an
I mean,
app
that's the part that's what I was looking for.
alongside my main task, that
It was
is
just a
UI
sandbox
design.
to dick around
And
with
I started to study UX to help
um,
with it. And this is possible
gadget
obviously because
engineering
we
and
are a small
programming, then
startup
I
where everyone
wouldn't
is
have
involved
really
in
much to do with
different
it.
parts of the development of the game. It is something challenging because I have to learn new things and then apply them on the fly. But it's
Like, I wouldn't
also
have much
very
purpose to
exciting
playing
and
it
rewarding, and it's
without any
something
kind of
I
story or
enjoy
campaign
of,
mode.
This job. So this was all. Thank you, thanks for game, and have a nice day.
Thank you. Your game is very cool. I respect. Truck full. Truck is indeed full. Is this a physics truck game?
And I work as a 3D artist at Mythical.
Oh, hi, my name is Daxinia and I worked as 2D artist on
I'm guessing
Shopify
physics-based
development.
hauling goods simulator.
start from
How full
designing
can
the
you
cars.
pack the back of the
Honestly,
truck
it
and actually
was a
drive it
challenge
places without
for me
losing gear?
since I had no experience with vehicle design.
I had the pleasure of working with Axinia. The concept arts were prepared precisely, which allowed the work to proceed quickly. Continuous communication between us was also important because sometimes the
So that's a
final model
two-lady
needed
team?
quick adjustments to work
Artist and
properly.
programmer? That was cool.
As a 2D artist, my role was more than just creating visuals. I also had to make sure they were clear for the 3D artist.
After preparing the base mesh, I moved on to modeling
Oh, wow.
more detailed components to ensure the model is functional as well.
So your truck journey
My
has to
role
be
in
able to
this
handle
project
all kinds of
involves
terrain
creating models such as cars
without
and
losing your
environmental
delivery.
elements, as well as working on level design. Besides the fun and enjoyment of driving, the game will also
Kyle.
offer the ability to customize and choose specific vehicles according to your preferences.
I designed a character for the game, starting with two versions, a traditional police officer and a cutscene version. With K-Art, we wanted to show the main idea of the game in a single memorable image. After considering various focuses and adding a touch of mystery, we settled on an image of the
I wonder what the
truck running
gameplay
through
loop
a
of this game's going to
dangerous
be.
forest with sunny
Do you
fields
design the
and a
trucks
cozy village in
and then have to
the
get them to
background.
destinations?
I was thrilled by the forest and nature setting, and
What they've shown so
decided
far
to see
seems to
the
be mostly like
The overall
tech demo
style
level.
is very appealing, and I'm glad to contribute to its creation. I hope that Trackful will be received very positively and that it will bring you great enjoyment in gameplay.
Oh my god. The physics look cool. I just don't know what the
I'm
greater
Maria Lupi.
metagame
I'm the
is. What the
co-owner
fuck
and
is
the
that?
producer of Beyond Those Hills game development studio. I also
Excuse me?
participate as a game designer, narrative designer, and composer in our game productions. I'm here now because 8 years ago I shifted my career into game development.
The fuck is this cat?
After a lifelong dedication to
Cat
music.
Detective Albert
I was a
Wilde.
concert pianist, composer, teacher, curator
I'm so
of
intrigued.
numbers of music and art events. So today I'm excited to present our latest game, Cat Detective Albert Wilde, a comedy noir set in 1930s New York. The game features
This is
vignette
incredible.
black and white visuals with anthropomorphic animal characters like our protagonist,
Wow.
Albert
I'm
Wilde,
so sold.
a cat detective solving a murder mystery.
Albert Wilde
saving
looks
the
like an
world.
absolute mutant.
This game blends comedy, film noir, mystery, science fiction, and narrative, make it hard to define by a single
Oh, so they are leaning into the comedy
Technically,
of how silly it
it's
looks.
somewhere between a walking simulator and an interactive novel with a strong focus on humor. It's less of a typical whodunit and more of an origin story, as Albert evolves from private investigator to quantum investigator. Our influences by the general atmosphere of 30s and 40s noir cinema. No specific film, no specific game. Our visual zoological world takes influences from
I love it how much they
neo-noir
nailed the
dialogue
old school
and
black and
humor,
white
a
footage.
bit of Monty Python, David Lynch, and the unconventional style of comedy films like
Oh my
Adam
god.
Case films, and many others.
Albert Wilde is
Music.
the most hilarious
We composed the
detective
introduction
protagonist
to
I've
the
ever seen.
literal style and sound of an old film, then layered jazz elements
He would
and
eat that
lo-fi
bird.
beat that adds a humorous tone. So, Cat Detective Albert Wilde.
This is my favorite aesthetic of the night.
And a special
I'm so about
mention
this.
to our wonderful writer, Michelle Clapp.
What?
大
Reviver.
家好，我是窗台上的蝴
Almost
蝶
couldn't read
制作
that.
人米卡，然后我是负责窗台上的蝴蝶的美术和剧情设计这一部分的。我们是一个剧情类的叙
Currently
事类
making
的
a
解谜游
narrative
戏
puzzle game.
然后现在已经在进行最后的测试和英语本地化的部分。
Reviver.
这是女主
Like
角
reviving the
菲利西
memory
亚
of things through
热
art?
爱画画的
Is
女
that
孩
the...？
她喜欢很多
the
奇怪的
concept?
东
What the
西
fuck?，
然后很有冒险精神。窗台上的蝴蝶中有很多很有意思的游戏，
Oh, so it's like full of different kinds of minigame puzzles.
还有很多时间线的故事等着大家去探索。
Oh, and like this room changes with time. Oh, it's like that Tom Hanks movie. Here.
这是男主角卡洛斯，一个内向但热爱昆虫、热爱
Anyway,
冒
it changes
险的
time
男
period,
孩
but it's the same room.
在游戏中也会穿
All
插
these
他的冒
minigames.
险故事。
Including Othello, otherwise known as Gore.
也有一些神秘的剧情等着大家挖掘。
Yeah, it seems to be mostly focused in that one room that changes throughout time. Almost like a escape room concept filled with puzzles. Like interconnected but isolated puzzles. And? Oh, we just held on that for quite a while. It's like, was that meant to be meaningful? I don't know the plot
What's
though.
up, gamers? My name is Kiri Schwedler, and I'm the lead writer and narrative
Kiri.
designer on Studio Kumihyo's Cricket, Jay's really peculiar game. As a non-binary person, I've drawn on many deeply personal experiences to make Cricket the game that it is today. I really hope that you'll enjoy playing it. Thank you so much.
Cricket. Not as in the sport cricket.
I use he/they pronouns. I was a environment artist on Cricket, Jay's really peculiar game. Oh, And I'm Ari. I use they, them pronouns, and I was a character animator as well as a character designer in our game.
Is this whole dev non-binary?
That we both kind of tried to put in our own little flares and touches as much as we could with like characters like Charlie. And
That's interesting.
A lot of the like animations and designs
I mean, good job
Try to incorporate a lot of variety
finding
and
enough
diversity amongst those characters, and as well as how
like-minded individuals within your sphere that have the same aspirations to game development to actually form a company with. And that can't be easy. There's a lot of like non-binary or LGBT out there that are reasonably isolated, and it can be sometimes difficult to find your community. But to find such a niche version of your community where you're not only non-binary but also aspiring game developers with programming and artistic skills,
In Cricket,
that's
he
like next
plays
level.
Jay, a young boy who's experienced a family tragedy.
That's like next level finding your
Embark
people.
on Jay's journey of personal growth, all while making plenty of wacky friends and battling goofy enemies.
That kid just attacked a squirrel with a
Go on a
rake.
journey to the moon with your newfound buddies.
Not really
explore the
something you
zany
want to be
hand-animated world,
encouraging.
and learn about yourself along the way.
Hey kids, if you see a
From
squirrel,
the bottom of
fuck
our
it up.
hearts, thanks for watching.
Cricket, Jay's really peculiar game. I don't think it has anything to do with actual cricket, the sport. I think they're referring to
I'm
the
Karina,
insect.
the marketing director at Mighty L Studios, where I'm lucky to get to work alongside some of the most talented women in games that I know. Mighty L is an experienced group of game
Oh, she made the Big
developers who
Con.
work remotely out of
That's on Game
Canada,
Pass.
and you may know us from
I
our
plan to
first
play
game,
that soon.
The Big Con. The Big Con is a game about a teenage girl named Allie who goes on a cross-country crime spree in order to save her mom's video store. It's fun, it's weird, and it's wholesome, just like us. That's why I'm so excited to be here to talk about our new title, All Systems Dance. All Systems Dance is an expressive dance
Oh, yeah.
adventure game where you stand up to corporate dystopia.
We saw the
using
trailer for this, I
power
think, at
of
the Summer
dance.
Game Fest, maybe.
We wanted to explore some big problems like over-automation, body dysmorphia, and unregulated corporate greed, but in a Mighty All way.
But through the power of
heartfelt
dance.
and accessible storytelling. We also wanted to help players experience the joy of dance.
She
Like
hits the
fluid
dab.
sense of skateboarding offered in Tony Hawk games, All Systems Dance lets players express themselves by combining moves and freestyling. Dance isn't
So
just
you can
about
just sort of
mechanics
dance
either.
around for
It's a way to move through the world
fun?
and interact with the environment and other people.
She danced that poster off the
We
wall.
want the player experience to be
Wild.
accessible and ideally to spark joy. In order to do this, we've also brought in
Freestyle.
some incredible
It's a
dance
triple dab.
consultants to help us add more moves and make dancing feel as
Donkey
good as
kick.
possible in the game. All
Dope.
Systems Dance is available to wishlist now, so please go do it. For now,
I'm very intrigued by All Systems
Welcome
Dance.
to Port Tomorrow.
I want more music.
For every Woosh
Music games,
citizen
more music
to
vibed
work,
games.
Socialize and relax. We here at Woosh have thought of everything, so you never have to.
Don't
Woosh.
believe their marketing and don't believe their messaging.
Is this still
the
All
face
Systems
of
Dance?
Whoosh. Look around. We are all trapped
It
here
is.
on this island. We are being watched.
We
and
segued
have
into a
to
trailer.
fight back. I know they outnumber us, but we've discovered their weakness. Their weakness is dance. Dance.
How did you
Reprogram
discover
them.
that
Dance
weakness?
Makes them see us as more than just a number on a spreadsheet. You have to dance. You have to dance like your life
So the
depends
robots are
on it.
just
Take back
mad
control.
stoked
Free
by
yourself
dancing.
and feel the
They don't
movement.
understand to the point where they get
revolution will
they get
not
riled
go
up by
away.
it and they love it. That's the plot.
Hi, my name is Jenny Wyndham.
Oh, shit.
I have been in the industry for 8+ years.
She looks like a
and
Stardew
I've been
Valley
working
character.
In community, marketing, production, showcase hosting, content creation, and more. I love video games. It was an opportunity when I was younger for my brother and I to play and hang out together. And even now, I love the ability to immerse myself in different worlds, stories, and perspectives. I continue to work and I will continue to work in this industry because I believe in the power of games to help us understand the world we live in and learn more about ourselves through the power of play. If you want to know more about me and the content I create, you can find me over at Kimchika. I am Kimchika pretty much everywhere. You can find me on Blue Sky and
Kimchika.
YouTube most notably. And check out
Catchy.
wholesomegames.com. We curate kind, compassionate,
There's a
and
duck
hopeful games for folks
and
to
a
enjoy.
cactus pillow back
Thanks
there on the
again
left.
to Danes for Games for having me, and sit
can't
back
stop staring
and
at.
relax because we have 4
Look at 'em.
incredible indies coming your way.
The cactus is alarmed to be on camera. It's like, her. Trailers. God for a day.
In this game, you are
Cool.
the son of God.
Oh God, Jesus.
Shaping the future of Hopewood City.
Jeebus.
Time to make the ultimate decision. Bless.
Or send it to hell. What?
Your choices shape their destiny. Make your decisions based on the characters' stories, belongings, and hidden secrets. Remember, every decision affects the future of Hopewood. Your followers on social networks.
So you're modern day Jesus.
On you on Judgment Day.
Going around judging everybody.
Will you be terminated? Or a superstar? Become God for a day and shape Hopewood's destiny.
You're doing all this in one day. The cat is Satan. Good choice. Piece together. Is this a game about scrapbooking? I think this is a game about scrapbooking your life. This is cute. So it's telling a story of a life in a roundabout, very particular mechanic type game. Kind of like unpacking. Unpacking is a very particular concept. You're unpacking boxes after moving house. Multiple times throughout a character's life. And by interacting with the objects, and paying attention, you basically discover the details of this person's life, and you unveil the story for yourself. I feel like that's what that scrapbook game is going for. What is this? Is this like a coming of age? It's like an adventure game, but it's just about a teenager coming of age living his life. The Donnie Darko and Matrix and American Psycho posters. Oh, that definitely dates what they're going for here. Perfect tide, station to station. Cool. What? Oh my god, this is like playing Japanese games on the PS2 again. Bubblegum Galaxy. Oh, this. I remember this from this Hexagon strategy gameplay part. The rest of it's so surreal that it kind of threw me for a loop. I remember the house head with the cat face. That's probably what stood out the most last time. Last time we saw a teaser. Bubblegum Galaxy is a good name.
Not everyone is into jump scares or the edge of your seat.
It's a good name, yow.
And even if you are, maybe you'd like to change it up just a little bit. So here are 4 more games that are dedicated to folks who just want to grab a snack and chill for a moment. Whether that's just
had a snack a moment
vibing
ago.
with a plastic duck, cleaning up some unique trinkets,
Ooh, hang on, I have chocolates.
decorating cozy apartments, or honing in on your tower defense skills.
Tower defense? How does that come into all the other stuff you just said? Tower defense is very cozy. It's kind of stressful. It's adorable though. It's got that Plants vs Zombies going on. Oh, a boost bar. I love boost. Forge ahead and grow stronger. I mean, that's gaming in a nutshell. What is happening? Okay. Some kind of Earthbound-like adventure game, but with the central mechanic being some Yu-Gi-Oh looking card game? Random? Placid plastic deck. PPD. A quiet quest. That is a bit of a hard to remember name. Placid plastic deck. Urban jungle. Speaking of unpacking. This is just designing interior spaces. Placid plastic deck. It sounds like that name was designed to roll off the tongue, but for some reason it doesn't really. Placid plastic deck. I don't know. It's some awkward thing in between a rolls off the tongue and a tongue twister. It's somehow both at the same time. Urban jungle. Cat has got little chopped chips. Undusted letters from the past. Oh yes, here we go. Hobby simulator. For cleaning artifacts. With more of a 3D pixel art. But what are we doing to this cat? Oh, it's not a real cat. It's a big bag. There are a lot of games like this on Steam, but not with this aesthetic. They're normally more like jank indie Unreal Engine kind of visuals. This actually has like a handmade pixel art vibe to it. And seems to be more story focused as well. Like the mechanic is designed just to push you through the story rather than just being a mechanic for mechanic's sake.
For having me, allowing me to share a few titles with you all. If you would like,
I'm gonna have
again,
a
you can
crunchy.
find me streaming, posting, making videos as
You don't want a crunchy?
Kinshika most everywhere. And if you'd like, visit wholesomegames.com, sign up for the newsletter, and get daily doses across social media of uplifting and hopeful games. Now, let's see what Destiny and Diana have in store for us next.
I feel like this showcase keeps swapping out presenters.
You know,
Oh no, we're back to them.
That was really nice.
Why did I
was
said
a
that?
Nice
Damn it.
break, honestly.
I'm a
And
jinx.
I didn't want to put Ginny through that. You know, like she's so wholesome and adorable. Like I don't want to scare her from like never wanting to come back and work with us. And I think that was pretty good. I had two that I really liked. I'm a cat person, so Urban Jungle was really nice, right? I could do like a lot of plant stuff without like getting my fingers dirty and stuff like that. But I also liked Piece Together because I really
Not really a big
wanna
fan
be
of
that
plant stuff
person who,
myself.
like does scrapbooking, but like I also.
But I
am
do
not
like
that
arranging
person who
objects
does
in
scrapbooking,
rooms,
but I
like
wanna
OCD
be
style.
that person. You know what I mean?
I really like Bubblegum Galaxy. Like I really like Bubblegum Galaxy.
That was so cute.
It's so cute. The hexing, the hex boards, like building that, all of that is completely my aesthetic. I know
That crunchy tasted
being
weird.
that I am a demon right now. It does not seem that
Yeah.
way, and I am surrounded by scary pumpkins.
Demons can be cute. Pumpkins can be cute.
It's true. That's
Yeah.
actually very true. I was yes. But it was so adorable.
She has such a
and,
massive mouth and massive
I
teeth.
wishlisted it, so it's gonna.
It really
go
like
for it.
And that's important. I'm glad you brought that up because everybody, you should
really
definitely go
highlights
check
like the
out
braces.
Our Steam event.
She's got
and
adorable
wishlist
braces,
these
but
games. If there's anything that you
she's just got
saw
such like
that gave your bunny
prominent
bone a
mouth and teeth
tickle,
action going on,
that scared you out of
ratio-wise to the
I
rest of
don't
her
have
head,
any more puns. Just go wishlist the
that it
games,
makes me
alright?
think like those
And
braces
check them
are
out.
probably
And thank you for wishlisting those games.
like way bigger than they
Before we
seem.
jump into some more spooky developer spotlights because we're
Like, I don't
not
think those would
done.
fit in my
I mean,
mouth.
this is
I have a
Ghouls
tiny
Video
mouth.
Games, so we do have to have more spooky games.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you a little bit about 1,000 Dreams Fund. We're working with them to raise money. So if you've noticed the little QR code and you want to help donate, please do. And also, we're raising money the entire month so we can continue to make these showcases. And something very cool, we are going to open up submissions for grants. So next year, 2025, we're going to be awarding those grants. And if
Grants.
you stay tuned on our socials, go follow us. There'll be more updates about that and how we're working together collaboratively because we know people need money.
So you
and
can
if we get
pitch
you some
your
money,
indie project
we wanna
and
get you
show
some money,
evidence,
you know?
probably,
Exactly. Every little bit helps.
of your
Every little bit
pre-production
helps. But okay, that's enough of
progress.
me talking because I know you guys want to be scared. So
and win grant money from them
turn off the lights.
to get your project made.
cuddle up to your partner or your cat or your pillow or whatever, you know what I mean? And stay tuned for the rest of these spooky spotlights.
She kind of moves her head a lot in a very sassy way. Well, I think she's into her character that she created, her Halloween costume character. She's vibing it.
Cracker
Nuts.
is a short narrative adventure
Awesome
game
name.
based on a Scottish fairy tale about a girl with the head of a
And instead
goat.
of a developer this time, we have the
My
actor.
name's Sarah Miele. I'm an actor, and my role on Cracker Nuts was bringing to life Caitlin and Kate.
Holy shit.
Caitlin.
It's like claymation.
Who's the main protagonist of the story. She is a very kind, empathetic
Kind.
character. She's got quite a big heart, I think, and she's quite different from Kate, who's her goat head, who is very overconfident.
Oh, so she's not the goat
asks
head.
questions later, and the mix.
She's
of
the
them is
human
quite
head.
Fun. All the characters and locations are handcrafted.
Oh, wow.
And then scanned by a computer, which gives the game a really nice, unique and handcrafted style.
So they did actually claymate.
Cracker Nuts also uses extensive motion capture with actors from theatre and TV like myself.
Why did that look like
bringing those
Skinny Aaron
characters
for a
to life.
second? Oh, it's not.
My name's Alice, and I
Got thrown
am
a
the
bit.
writer for
I thought it was going to be
Cracker
Ego Raptor.
It was a really interesting game
Alice Langley?
to write in terms of deciding how we wanted
I
it
wanted
to
to make a game out of
that
clay.
feeling of moving through a fairy tale.
I'm also a
and
big
being
fan of
part
guts.
A story. So it originally started as the Scottish fairy tale where the princess's head is
There we go,
exchanged for a
there's the
goat
game.
head by her evil stepmother.
So it's kind of got a
obviously,
point and
or his
clicky
evil
adventure
stepmother.
game
And
vibe,
then the
except
sort of quest
claymation
is
and
that
also
she's trying to get her own
Goat
head
Man with
back.
severed lady
and we
head.
were really interested in the visual
It's so
of
trippy.
a goat-headed girl. We thought actually that's slightly more interesting than a princess. Often the female characters are just archetypes in fairy stories, and that we definitely wanted to
We
challenge
didn't want
that
to make a
and
princess
it
that was an
a little bit
archetype,
more
so we made a
crunchy and
goat.
complicated.
Just a fucking clay goat. It's pretty different. Yeah, wish
Hi
listed.
everyone, we're the developers from Citrus Studio. I'm Marvi, I'm
Marama.
the writer-programmer. I'm Jenny, the artist.
We are a tiny
Ooh.
two-person team working on Zero
Ooh.
Sum Heart, a short visual novel about a high school girl who made a deal
She
with
cuts
the
out her
witch
heart?
to sacrifice her heart to win everyone's love. Stylistically,
She
we
cuts
were
out her
inspired
heart
by romantic
to make a deal
thriller
with
movies,
Satan?
such as
To be
Hitchcock's
loved by
Vertigo
everybody?
and Satoshi Kon's Perfect
Ooh,
Blue.
this is trippy.
Something that's mysterious.
This is going to be one of those linear
and
narrative
blurs the line
thriller
between
type things,
fantasy
yeah.
and reality. But ultimately,
What the
Zero
fuck?
Sum Heart is a story about girlhood.
Jenny and I met each other in high school.
I think I saw a
We
taste of this game on a
remember that
recent
period of our lives as a
showcase. I
time
can't
filled
remember
with
if I did or not.
uncertainty,
But
insecurity,
I
and
feel
fear,
like
but also
the art
possibilities,
style is
growth,
something
and
that rings a
optimism.
bell. And I remember thinking like I wasn't
think
really a
the
big
story
fan
is
of it.
Interesting and important.
I don't really know. I don't like how it
because
looks.
I remember when I was younger, I had bought into the
But the
cultural
story
narrative
sounds really
that
interesting.
stories for or about girls are trivial and shallow. So in a way, I wrote this for myself 10 years ago about being seen
That's
and
cool.
understood in love, romantically
I think-
and non-romantically.
That's a tale as old as time when it
this
comes to
story,
creators.
we seek to understand our
People
former
are
selves
driven to
better
create
and hope the
in
central
all forms of
emotions
art:
can
music,
connect
games,
with girls,
movies,
women,
comics,
and people worldwide.
books. They're driven to create because there's something that they want
Hi everyone,
to
my
consume
name
that
is
doesn't
Lisa.
exist.
I am one of the co-founders
There's something
of
that they
Tiny
feel
Q
is
Games,
missing that
an
they
indie game studio
that they
based
like
in
about the
Aotearoa
medium
in
that they
Sweden.
are in.
At Tiny Kiwi Games, we are developing
That they
our first
they feel
title
compelled
called
to
Design
make
Conjure,
for
a witchy
themselves
decoration game where
because
you
it's
play
the
as
kind of thing that
Tavia,
they would want
a
but
young
doesn't
witch who
exist.
just
Nobody else
returned
made
back
it
home
yet.
after finishing the Witchy Academy. In the game, you decorate and clean rooms as you meet the townspeople and help magical creatures.
It's the best way to approach all art, really.
For the development of the
What
game,
do you
I
like?
helped with programming, designing
What's the
how
best
objects
version of a
work
thing
in
you
the
like
game,
that doesn't
as well as
exist yet?
writing and designing
Make
the
it.
story.
Make it for you.
With Design and Conjure,
And
I
then the
hope
people
to
that feel
bring
the same
a
way as you
cozy
will
game
find it
where you
and will
can
be
relax and express yourself while following a short
will
but
be
sweet
thankful
story.
for it and will then be
Hello,
inspired
I'm
to
Ray,
create
I'm
the
from
next
New
level of
Zealand,
that.
And I'm currently doing work for some very cool little studios down here. Like a lot of indie game devs, I'm a Swiss Army knife that does a bit of everything. from 3D modeling to shaders to UI and a lot more. My passion is stylized 3D graphics, which is a muscle I've
A
very
lot of
much got to
devs
flex with
use
this
their
lovely little game.
their headphone and mic setup.
In design and conjure, some of the things I've worked on
You could
are
tell they're not
these shaders that
streamers
allow
or
you to color
podcasters or
up
something.
Any object in the game.
They don't have the good
game's
gear on hand
interface
just to
itself,
use for this.
which includes a diegetic cassette tape player, which you use to listen to cozy tunes
Oh, cool.
while you decorate, and also art for one of the main characters, Cosmo the talking cat.
So you're like a little, you're
My
like a
favorite
witch
thing
that
about game dev, especially indie game dev,
decorates
is simply the sheer
things?
variety of different hats I get to wear. I can assure you that I am never ever bored. I'm also very fond
So
of
is
the
it like
spaces that
unpacking where you
games
just
in
have
the
to
cozy and
create
casual
witchy
genres create,
spaces?
both us devs and
Design
for our
and conjure,
players.
yeah, it sounds like it. Quarter, 1996. Cool color scheme.
In Quarter
Lilac and
1996,
lime green.
you play as a young woman who's just moved into
It's
their
almost
first
got a
apartment. Driven by curiosity
UV day
about
glow
your
look to it.
surroundings, you find a hidden portal to explore other people's homes and rummage around in their stuff.
What? Why?
Through the memories attached
What
to
the
the
fuck?
items that you find, you get to know about their lives and their loneliness. Hi, I'm Mariana. I'm
That's
the lead
bleak.
game designer on Quarter 1996.
But it seems like another take
And I'm
on
Flan, the programmer and tech lead.
room/environment
And
organizer
this is
gameplay.
Mitsuko. She is our producer.
Oh my god.
I'm working on the art,
I love your producer.
sound, and
Please
story
produce more.
for the game. And it's been really interesting for me to figure out how to express 90s nostalgia in the art style and the design of the game. It's like a mix of moody aesthetics, inspiration from old games like Myst, and the memory of how slow computers were back then. I developed a unique
So it's somewhat of a
scheme
point-and-click
for each
mystery game.
apartment, and all the items are
With lots of
actually based on real things I've rummaged
Dicking around with
for.
items in a
I've been working on the point
organizer
and click system in
game,
Quarter,
hobby
and that
game,
includes
unpacker kind of thing.
A very intricate stacking system for placing items on shelves and really giving that cluttery feel of rummaging through someone else's apartment. We've seen players take this and make some very neat stacks of items, and other players go very chaotic and try and push the system and see what they can stack on top of each other.
Already have a demo out on Steam if you want to go check it out, and the full game will be released next year. So wishlist if you want to find
What
out
was that
what's
plushie behind her?
those secret portals.
It's the producer. He's gonna get all the money. 1,000 deaths.
Hi, Dames for Games. We're
That's too many
Prime
deaths.
Interactive, the team behind Thousand
God,
Deaths.
everyone
I'm
seems to have a
Jay,
weird
producer
thing in their
here,
environment.
and
Like
I
that
ensure
thing in the
our
bottom
projects
right.
are moving forward, manage
That
to do
hand-knitted
and assist with creative direction.
5-fingered
Thousand
head
Deaths
creature.
is a graphic bending 3D platformer where your choices matter. Through exploration, you unlock platforming hubs which give you choices that change the story. You can play the game at your own pace or speedrun platforming levels in the arcade.
Hello, I'm Luna Wu, a developer for Thousand Deaths. I like working on this game because of its unique world and the challenge of blending story-driven gameplay with 3D platforming. The choice you make in the game defines the playing mechanics of the platforming levels, but every level has gravity manipulation and intense topography, which I had fun developing.
Hi, my name is Malvika Mittal and I'm a producer at Parai Interactive.
Malvika
I
Mittal.
also handle quality assurance and I manage the India team. I also wrote the script for episode 3 of Thousand Deaths. You play 1,000 Deaths through 4 main characters exploring 3 stories based on friendship, love, and labor. The choices you make are driven by inner conflicts faced by these characters. Each choice unlocks a new branch of the story.
Hey, I'm Steph DeVille.
This game is
3D
weird.
artist for Thousand Deaths. My work involves creating a unique and unified style for the
Cool
game.
name though.
I design, model,
Provocative,
and polish assets
1,000
to ensure
deaths.
They have a high level of visual fidelity.
Kind of full on.
The game draws visual inspiration from many sources,
But look at this.
including retro games and Indian iconography. We wanted our assets to combine experimental forms to create a visually appealing and memorable experience for the player.
Hello,
So
I'm
then-
Nanya Hazarika, and I'm the
Is that a butt plug on that pillar?
consultant at Pariah Interactive and
I think it's meant to be a tree.
Thank you,
My
Days
bad.
for Games, for this chance to talk about Thousand Deaths and highlight the amazing work done by the women of
What do you do in 1,000 Deaths?
Thousand
It
Deaths
looks
is available on Steam.
funky as
Wishlist
hell.
now.
Like a Salvador Dali fever dream, but it's one of the situations where I don't really fully understand what the gameplay is doing.
Hey, my name is Selena, and this is my first diary. I'm taking care about all the extravagant stuff at
Selena,
Cherry Games.
marketing opinion manager.
I
Oh,
connect our players with the dev team to make
the
sure
marketing
that
lady's
development
pulling out all the
process aligns
stops.
with players' feedback. Just because we want to create a game that
She's
players
like, I'm gonna make
will
something
love to
cinematic.
play.
Ready for this?
I also manage community updates so our players can stay in the loop and follow the development of Angst: A Tale of Survival.
Oh, cool.
Our quest-driven survival game
Angst.
with roguelite elements. In the world of Angst, you have to survive
It's
while
like-
discovering the mysteries of this strange place.
It's like The Long Dark.
And figuring out why you are there.
If it was like an indie
Make
comic booky
tools,
looking
explore an open
isometric
world,
game.
Find new recipes.
It's The Long
search
Dark
for food,
crossed with
follow
Don't
the
Starve.
story and do whatever it takes to stay alive. The answers might be closer than you expect, so keep going. I really love the mysterious side of the game. And yes, you will come across strangers on your journey. Some will want to help you, while others, well, I'll let you discover that for yourself.
I like her. The game looks fine, but I like her content. Her little live action marketing stuff here is really cute.
Come closer. Wishlist our game on Steam to
This is
stay
awesome.
updated and join future game tests.
Is this gonna end with her getting taken out by a bear? Nice work.
Hey everyone!
Cool trailer.
My name is Kimi Arkinas, and I'm a freelance music composer in the games industry.
Wow,
So,
she looks a lot like
if you happen to like JRPGs, then
you know what?
definitely
I'm not
hit
gonna
your girl up,
name drop the
because
person I was about to
love
say.
Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts,
It was a porn
Pokemon,
star?
Persona, Grandia, Star
And that would
Ocean, and
oust us a little bit
basically
as
any
knowing a bit
JRPG.
too much about that stuff.
I also run the social media for AAPI in Gaming. AAPI in Gaming is a community platform that
Her first name is
amplifies
Lily.
the voices of Asian American
That's all I'm gonna
and
say.
Pacific Islanders in the gaming industry, promotes cultural appreciation, and highlights representation.
Is that the
in
Persona
gaming-related
mask on her shelf back there? That's
so,
pretty
if
cool.
that happened to resonate with you in any way, shape,
And
or
a bunch of
form,
Star Wars
then
stuff.
definitely hit us up on LinkedIn or Instagram. Once again, that is AAPI in Gaming. You're also more than welcome to connect with me on my own Instagram, Kimmy_more, like the Britney
Kimmy,
Spears
Kimmy,
song.
Joe Jimmy,
I
Shanana,
love
Shama,
making
Show Mimi.
friends, especially
I didn't
those
do
who
that
have
quite
a passion
right.
for video games, because fun fact,
I forgot the rule. I
happen
forgot the
to
name
have
game
a
rule.
passion for video games too. Anyway, I would just like to extend y'all a very
Trying to
big
figure out what that
thank
machine
you
is on her
for
right
your continued
with the
support
timer
of
on
this
it.
wonderful organization,
It's a
Days for
bit too
Games,
elaborate just to be a
and
clock.
fasten your metaphorical seatbelts
Looks like a clock
because
slash
we have our
humidifier
partner segment
slash
coming
time
up.
bomb. Partner spotlight. Meaning?
What's going on, folks?
Oh, shit.
My name is Mike Towndrow. I am the creative director over at 6-1 Indie. You may know us from
He's got a
6-1
very
Indie
big
Showcase
eagle in the back
or
there.
the Indie Game Awards coming
Oh, wait,
up
that's not
on
an eagle, that's a
December
fucking giant
19th.
pigeon.
Destiny and the Dames for Games crew invited me on today so I
Why?
can give a shout out to one of my favorite developers working throughout the indie scene today. That individual is Madison Carr. If you're unfamiliar with
Madison's
work,
Carr?
no worries, we're changing that right now. She is a remarkable solo indie developer who put out 3 projects to date. While all 3 are killer in their own right, the
Just
one I want to emphasize
list them,
is
man.
Birth, which launched back in February of 2023. Birth is a stunning hand-drawn adventure
Oh, wait,
game
I do
about
know this.
constructing a creature from spare bones and organs.
I haven't played it,
found
but I
around
remember
the
this.
city in order to quell your loneliness. Thoughtful puzzles, endearing characters, and absolutely gorgeous piece of art to interact with. And it's creepy. It's Halloween season. Look at them bones. Don't you want to play with them bones?
No.
And outside of her games, Madison is just one of my
I'll give you a
favorite
bone to
people
play with.
working in the
Hey!
industry. Anytime we have the opportunity to
Heyo.
cross paths at, like, a PAX, let's say, it always feels
Bah,
just
bah,
like a
bah.
big family reunion. So Madison Carr, shout out to you. You don't know I'm doing this.
Bah, bah, bah.
So surprise and sorry for the embarrassment. I don't know. Thank you, Destiny and Dames for Games. I love you guys with all of my heart. And to all my new friends watching, hi, it's a pleasure to
I
meet
wanted
you.
him to
If you want to discover
name
some
drop
more
the other
rad
games that she
indie
made.
games, check out 61indie.com/showcase. I may be a bit biased, but we produce some of the sickest indie game showcases twice a year, and Destiny was on our September showcase. And of course, like I mentioned, we have the inaugural Indie Game Awards premiering on December 19th.
There's an Indie Game
So
Awards?
pop in the chat, say hello, give a shout out to your favorite developer,
I
and
haven't heard
play
of that
more
before.
indies.
That drops pretty close to the actual Game Awards. I wonder if they've done that every year. I just didn't know about
Hi
it.
everyone, it's me, Twy the Queen, but you can just
Holy
call
shit.
me Twy. I'm your 2023 Stream Supreme winner, and today I'm here to talk about
What's
Stream
Stream
for a
Supreme?
Cause. Stream for a Cause is a non-profit that believes in support.
I'm guessing it's some kind of streamer awards
From
for content
LGBT+
creators.
advocacy and programming to food equity and human rights, Stream for a Cause supports organizations who are out there making a difference in the communities just like yours. We work alongside our volunteer creators to advocate and raise funds, which are used to fund direct service programs with charities and support sustainability, coaching,
So
and
she's a
mentorship
drag
with organizations
drag
to help
streamer.
them thrive. On behalf
They
of
must
Stream
have
for a
won the
Cause, we
comp
wanna
last
thank you
year.
for your support. And to
She's
get
leaned
involved
pretty
in the
heavily
work
into
that
the
we are
beard.
doing today, be sure to visit streamforcause.org.
That's some heavy makeup for still having the beard there. Why not just shave the beard and the mustache and just go full on with the makeup? Unless that's like her thing, her aesthetic, the thing that makes her
Hi guys,
iconic,
Christy,
unique.
founder of 1000 Dreams Fund here. You know how much we love to fund dreams, so we are so excited to be partnered with Dames for Games. We will be fundraising
Dames for
with
Games?
them through our Tiltify.
I think
look out
I've-
for information on how to donate.
I think I've
Our
skipped on
goal
Dames
is
for
to
Games
fund
on previous
women who
years
wanna work
because
in game development. As much money as we
it's one of those
raise will
showcases that,
determine how
that
many
too
grants
often
we
is
give out.
is
So
just
we are so
a
looking
string
forward
of
to your
developer
support.
interviews and like
And
side
in
by side
2025, that application will open, so we
webcam
also
split screens,
encourage you to stay tuned. And we want to
which
thank the
is
Dames
just
for
not very
Games
enthralling to
team
watch on
for
stream
teaming up
for
with us
hours at
on
a
this
time.
exciting new fundraiser.
I tend to try to stick to the showcases, which are like trailer drops, where we pop from one thing to the next and keep it moving.
Hey guys, my name is Jocelyn Cruz.
This
This
is what they meant by
HeroCon
partner
2024
showcase.
in
This
Chicago.
is just a series
On
of
behalf of our
commercials
team,
for
I
all
just
their
wanted to say
partners, their corporate
congratulations
partners.
to our friends at Dames for Games and all the amazing game developers who showed their
Does that mean we're
work
done
at
with the
today's
games?
showcase. Be sure to donate to today's event,
There's only 8
highlighting
minutes
women
left.
and girls in the gaming community.
7.
And check out our highlights from HeroCon 2024 Chicago coming up next. Game on.
Good instrumental. So it's the intro to an anime. I don't know what they're showing me though. Someone's after party? Oh my god, it is an anime intro. Oh my god, that Katana and Melina are fire.
It's the end of
I knew it.
another
I knew it was coming to a close.
I always have so much fun with you in doing
Aw,
these. These are so great.
With you too.
It's really great.
I know, and you know what? Thank you so much for joining me again in this showcase, guys. Honestly, me and Diana are like simpatico. Like we're just.
It's true.
She's like the synergy is there, you know.
It's there. It's there. It's there.
Just like
Sometimes I can't tell if she's like doing a bit or if
Yeah,
she's maybe a little
definitely.
high.
Especially with all the trailers that we saw today and
And
all
the
the great supports and just
Little high,
it's
little
really,
drunk.
Really cool. Really cool.
Maybe a bit of both.
I was trying to think of puns.
Just having fun.
Right? For the trailers. I was like, oh, those tricky trailers and those spooky spotlights and those dreadfully delightful developers.
Ooh.
Ah, right? Like I was like
alliteration
sitting there like my brain was going. I didn't like Google it or chat GPT, any of that. Like that just
I'm
came
proud of
right
you.
out of my brain.
I wonder if they're just
Before
going
we
to a
go,
Halloween
we just
party
wanna
after they
give
film this, or if she had
another
to put that
shout
all
out
on
to
just for
those who
the
continue to
recording.
help us. IGN,
I mean, you have to make the
Twitch,
most of it, right?
GameSpot, you guys know I love you. Like I have so much love for you beating in my zombie petrified heart. Not only that, to the ones who continue to work with us and partner with us, The Mix, and to our new partner who's going to help us fund some dreams.
Yes.
Oof. 1000 Dreams Fund. Because they're incredible. I also want to take a moment to thank all the other hosts who came on to help us introduce these amazing trailers and some of the organizations that are still doing so much work within the industry and outside of it. Whew, Jenny, I'm sorry that we brought you into something that's not so wholesome, but we tried to give you a wholesome section. You know what I mean? Like, we tried to give you a wholesome section. Some of the games may not have been as wholesome, but it's okay. It's okay. And then, hey, Christine, thank you so much. I know you're probably scared, but I promise you we'll get through this together because I know those trailers were intense. And then to Kimmy, who I met like last week for HeroCon, which was super dope. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about AAPI and introducing all of the other organizations that are doing incredible stuff in our world. Diana, it really is time to close the lid on this coffin.
Yes. I am mourning the loss.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Yeah, that was good.
They're still doing bits. They really they want to drag out the outro because they're having too much fun.
An S word for before socials. I know everybody's
shrieking with joy.
Shrieking with joy. Oh my god. Yeah, no.
If you have any, just like send them our way.
Yeah. Leave it in the comments. For next year. But Diana, if people want to find you and keep up with what you're doing because you are doing a lot, where do they find you at?
You can check
you can find me on the internet at the following social media links.
And
also on OnlyFans.
Yeah, and we'll put it like
it's
right here.
Moderately successful OnlyFans.
We'll either put it down at the bottom or
could be better.
If we don't, just replay it.
I promise I'll wear the horns.
Really slowly. I don't know. It's like, where is it?
No, it'll be down there. I think.
What are y'all doing?
I don't know either.
Here. And guys, I'm Destiny. The ghost
Destiny with two E's, but they're not where you think.
We want to thank you, the viewers.
Shout out.
And we also want to thank the wonderful people on the Dames for Games team because, they have done so much work to help me keep this going, and we plan on keeping it going.
What was that girl's name?
I always say this, and I always mean it.
Madison.
The show is going to be bigger and better.
One of the best original Marvel characters ever designed.
Exciting things coming up. We're already planning it. You know what I mean? Like, today's October 1st. You guys didn't even realize that. Today's October 1st. You're going to be watching this on the 24th.
You know, it'd be a good tier list.
Planning the next showcase. So get ready. Strap yourself
Marvel
in
character
and,
tier list.
Hey everyone, just popping back in to give another shout out.
That's a good idea
to
for the
all
future,
of our
I think.
Partners. Thank you all so much.
I should keep that in
Not
mind.
Only that, make sure to
doing
check
like a Marvel
out
character
our
tier list,
Steam event,
specifically from the
Ghouls
MCU,
for Games
not from comics.
2024. And once you're through browsing, please consider donating. We really, really appreciate it. No amount is too small. And if you can't donate, share that we are a nonprofit and that we are always accepting donations. See you guys later.
Those donations are going to fund the indie gaming fund they're going to be giving out to people next year. That was cool. Not as action packed as other showcases where it's just trailers a mile a minute. It was somewhere between the trailer showcase and the interview showcase formats. It was riding that in between line. If it was any heavier towards the chatty webcam box interview style over interviews, I think that would have been a bit too much for me for streaming content, but it was fine. I was happy with that. Okay, that's enough for one night. I said I'd do a shorter stream tonight, and 4 hours is about the average I normally aim for, so it wasn't as short as I'd planned, but I think we got in enough. And I finally caught up on that showcase that I said I would do. Cute showcase. I don't think there's going to be another... the Video Game Awards mid-December. That's the next one. And we're going to have to be live for that one. So that's exciting. We'll be there. We'll be there fully suited up as usual. Okay. I need to go to the toilet, so I got to run. No more dawdling. Hopefully Moonlighter tomorrow, unless I have to move it. I'm still dealing with the fact that work the last week has been causing me to shift and not only shift schedules, but be late to a lot of my planned streams. So that's been frustrating, and it might not have ended yet. So if I Have to change the schedule for tomorrow. That's unfortunate. I'm going to try and do it, but if work screws me up a little too much, I might have to move tomorrow to Tuesday. Okay. Good night.